All right, we're back. Apparently, I was informed by my PC there was some glitch, some bugs which were happening. Well, if you're dealing with, sorry, that's Delhi pollution. So I was saying, if you're dealing with electronics and you're dealing with something online, glitches and bugs tend to keep on happening. One such happened right about now. But that does not deter us from the task at hand. We have two players ready to
Yes.
be introduced. So let's start off with Prashant P. Pandey. All right, that's Prashant P. Pandey for you guys. One of the contestants here in today's Clash Royale game, Angie.
Yes, he sits fourth on the board. He's secured 18 points for himself, 6 victories, 2 losses, and looking very fine for himself. He could mostly make it to the land finale if there's going to be a little bit of issue between Seth and Sushil. I think Prashant could really get a slot to seeing it on land finale. Of course, players who play online, when they come on land, they have a complete different gameplay that we see. If you talk to our casters about Gotham Workaholic, he will tell you that it's very difficult to play on land when you compare it to playing to an online matchup, because there you're sitting in your comfort zone, you're sitting in the power of your home. But when you're on land, there are so many things that come into
The
consideration.
pressure of people watching you
Yes,
perform live.
definitely. And more than that, I mean, Suteekshan, I hope that his performance considerably, consistently stays the same even on land, because he's such a fantastic player. We had this player before, I think his name was Jamit, if I'm not wrong. When he used to play online, he had a complete different gameplay. But when he would come on land, he had a complete different gameplay. And I hope that same thing doesn't happen to Suteekshan.
All right, so then let's quickly take a look at the opposition here. Suteekshan Beast Joshi. Well, we're back again with the action here. Suteekshan Beast Joshi, the opponent for Prashant P. Pandey. In fact, if we can get the player cards, we can
Yeah.
take a deeper look at these two players. Yes, not much of a difference when it comes to the trophies. Favorite cards, Golem for PP, Spare Goblin for Beast.
Well, look at his 3 crown victories, though. He's sitting with 3,000 3 crown
But
victories
definitely,
compared
but
to Seth.
again, if you see the 3 crown victories, I would take into accordance of the fact that he's also played 14,000 games.
Yeah.
PP has secured 3 crown victories after 14,000 games, whereas Suteekshan, after playing roughly around 9,600 games, he's secured like 300 shy of 1,000 3 crown victories. But
But
what's
that
really
makes
important
that
is
makes
after
sense. I mean, his gameplay is such where he really just concentrates on taking down one tower and then just holding his defense strong.
True, but if you look at the stats, it's not just the 3 crown victories. It's also the fact that both of them have achieved the midway mark, because the
Yeah.
total number of games played for PP is 14,679,
Yeah.
and he's managed to have wins which are roughly around halfway mark there.
Yeah.
But surprisingly, even though the 3 crown victories are less, Suteekshan Beast Joshi in his typical format, if you see, he's secured 9,600 games something, and he's got a 4418 like number of wins.
Wins.
So that's also like halfway. It's just
That
that
is
he
pretty
hasn't
cool.
gone for the 3 crown victories as much as
Yeah. And that
PP.
really doesn't matter. I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't come down to how many crowns you take. It just comes down to who wins the game. And I think Suteekshan is going very strong even in his general Clash Royale games. But talking about their favorite cards, we talk Spear Goblins for Suteekshan and Golem being the favorite for Prashant. If you could just bring up the ban cards, I'll be able to see what they're up to.
Golem and the
Suteekshan
Fireball.
and the Fireball. Now, I do like that ban for Prashant. The Fireball, very devastating even to cards like the Three Musketeers. We saw it even in yesterday's matchup. Just the Fireball and you just drop down a Valkyrie, a Mini P.E.K.K.A, and the Musketeers go totally useless. That also makes me think that Prashant mostly is opting to play something like the Three Musketeers. He also likes to play the Dark Prince and the Giant combination quite a bit. I want to see whether Suteekshan, on the other hand, will try to use his battle ram. He also likes to use the lava and the balloon combination. If he does, I mean, it's a long bunch of matches. They could definitely try and, mix up their decks a little bit and see what we have in store for them. But very exciting match for me to watch.
All right, so then let's bank on the excitement here and take it forward. In fact, let our main man take it forward. Gotham Workaholic, the gentle giant with a heart of gold when it comes to Clash Royale, but not CS. Over to you, gentlemen.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, first of all, to Vagish and Zara for giving that excellent intro to me, got the workaholic Vic, and I hope everything is working just fine in production because I have moved my position a little bit. I am in a more comfortable spot right now, and we have an excellent game today between Beast and PP. This game is actually going to be legendary, I tell you. PP and Beast, two very strong players of the ESL Masters League, and Beast actually is pretty much, I believe he's number 1 or number 2. He's been playing like a beast, and he was pretty much undefeated. Finally lost a game to someone actually just few days ago. That was an exciting game also. So I believe he lost to Mukul. He lost a game to Mukul, and he has been quite a formidable opponent for anyone he's been playing against. And I actually have to say I expect him to win this best of 5 just because how good he is, and I really do actually expect him to win this best of 5. However, he's known to lose a game or two here or there, but that's okay. And this is my prediction before going to this first match, and we're already a minute and 35 seconds into this game, so let's see what's gonna transpire here. A P.E.K.K.A. moving against another P.E.K.K.A. on the field. They'll be taking a few shots at each other. However, the blue P.E.K.K.A. will expire prior because simply because the tower's helping him out, and he was already a little low on health before he got there. Nice poison there to take out damage 2 buildings together, and also damaging some goblins also. Aggressive miner being placed, and Prashant kind of misjudged the position of that miner. He figured he'll come up at the back, but Beast dropped the miner right in the front actually. So this is actually some mini games that happen between the game itself. Wow, that ghost duly distracted because ghosts are invisible at spawn, so he didn't. Both the ghosts didn't actually end up seeing each other. Defensive miner coming in will be taken out fairly quickly, and PP spending a lot of elixir defending this push. And here comes an offensive poison by Beast, and seems like Beast is going to take more damage from that poison. Poison bringing a lot of value. PP puts down a goblin hut of his own, and again miner chipping away at that building. Beast seems to be coming out on top every single time as far as it goes to the chip damage. Prashant will probably log this now to take care of the Zappies, however still in good health. Tower is still twice as much health as his opponent. Another cycle for Miner for Beast should help him close this game. Again, now Miner. Wow, P.E.K.K.A. actually dropped in the back. This tower will take some damage because of the P.E.K.K.A. being dropped in the back. 122, 52 health. Finally, that tower goes down. And that was quite a commitment there by Prashant. He put down a P.E.K.K.A. right next to that miner. It was a good distraction. Of course, it's a good unit to take out the P.E.K.K.A. However, P.E.K.K.A. was required up front to defend. However, choosing to put it behind there because he didn't have much of an option at that point. That cost him that game, and he lost the first match of this best of 5 between Beast and PP. Off to an early strong lead. Beast, I am wondering how PP will come back from this defeat in the very first game. Would like to add PP again is a strong player. I do also expect him to make it to the LAN. However, Beast has kind of solidified his position, and he's currently at the top spot. Beast has only lost a single game, and I believe he lost that to Mukul 8-bit. PP currently stands at 3. Of course, every loss PP takes will keep pushing him down, but PP still has a lot of games to go. He's only played 8 games so far in the Masters League. So it's going to be quite interesting how these things are going to pan out. Similar decks, no changes have been made but we do see one change. That's a rocket, and he has a minion horde and 3 musketeers. Wow, that's an expensive deck. But I will let's see if that catches Beast off guard, and because he will not have will he have enough damage to take out the 3 musketeers? Because 3 musketeers will do very well against the P.E.K.K.A. if used defensively, and if he can surprise Beast with 3 musketeers at the end of the day, this will be quite a surprise for him. So here comes the normal miner poison combo. That's Beast's complete strategy right there. This is exactly what he wants to do, and I liked how Beast kind of took that damage to reveal the big card, which is the minion horde. They will quickly eat away at the tower because Beast was clearly not expecting. Beast was expecting something because clearly Prashant didn't make a move when the poison and miner came out. But I guess he was not expecting that. So that miner and minion horde bringing the tower down to 200 health. Prashant off to a great start. Remember, he has a rocket, so if he decides to, he can take out the tower any point in the game. A lot of units being placed right in the middle. The hut seems to be the major target right now. Beast does not want to deal with that hut at all. He's like, I don't like that hut, and I'm going to take out that hut under any circumstances. Prashant, if you look at quite a lot of units he has, they're fairly expensive. They're hogging down at his deck at the moment. And with only 56 seconds left on the clock and double elixir time, maybe now we'll get to see big cards being dropped. He has enough elixir to now drop actually 3 musketeers. However, he decides to actually drop a hut again. P.E.K.K.A out on the field, distracted, wants to go for the hut. The minion horde also coming out, doing a lot of damage here. The poison comes out to take out the minion, but the damage pretty much done already. The P.E.K.K.A has gone down. Prashant still holding on to the 3 musketeers. Another defensive hut being put down. There's a miner chipping away at the back. He's doing a lot of damage. Few other units also coming in to help. And finally, he takes down the building on the left. Now he has to just defend for 11 seconds, but look at the health of that tower. It's only 72 health left. And poison will come out to take it out. There's slight lag here, but seems like there's just too much going on in the game, which is slowly bogging it down. It's quite interesting to see game getting stuck like this. 3 musketeers are finally revealed in overtime, and Beast now needs to figure out what's he planning to do. He's going to probably put a P.E.K.K.A right in the middle of the 3 musketeers, 2 musketeers actually, and the P.E.K.K.A comes out, single swings the 2 musketeer, and minion horde will come here also. Is he going to use the poison? No, rather puts down the zappies. Zappies will also be taken out fairly quickly. They trade actually pretty well. This is quite surprising to see. 3 zappies traded pretty well. Musketeers are out on the field again. Beast now needs to figure out how he's planning to defend this. 2 minutes and 20 seconds left in overtime, and this seems like this is a very close game. How is Beast going to defend this big push? The zappies come out. They have been quickly cleared out. The minion horde still alive, doing some damage around. So does the miner, also comes down. Beast seems like he's in a lot of trouble, and tower down to 900 health. Well played coming out of Beast. The 3 musketeers very aggressively put right in the middle, and nothing can stop them. Good game and well played coming out of Beast. That was a fairly long game between these two, but however, Prashant coming out on top. Again, let me just put this in context. Prashant is number 3 on the Masters standing, whereas Beast is on number 1. Both these players are very, very strong. My predictions still going in favor of Beast because he is actually statistically better. Actually, there's nothing more to it. I'm rooting for Beast because he's been an absolute beast this season, and I expect nothing less from him but to take this whole series at a 10-1 record there. So only 1 loss and 10 wins. Let's see what's the next game has in store for us. And there we go. Finally, some changes in the deck. And good luck and thank you coming out by Beast. And Prashant, we see an interesting card here. He has the heal card alongside. That's the change that he's made. I'm guessing he's expecting his opponent to still have the same deck, the poison miner deck. And Prashant very, very aggressively actually putting down the 3 musketeers. And this is his whole plan. He is actually going to use the heal. But look at this. He has brought in the Sparky. And this is going to be a lot of damage. A nice zap coming in to defend against this. But heal card is definitely not going to work out for him because the damage that Sparky brings is just too much. And Sparky is also a great defending unit because look at the damage he's going to push out now. Look at that. The amount of damage that P.E.K.K.A took was amazing. Bringing it down to less than half health in 1 shot. P.E.K.K.A will now not be able to bring a lot of value in this match. And even the 3 musketeers will be the Sparky can actually kill 2 musketeers together in 1 shot, Prashant now probably looking to switch around his strategy. He's going to be tanking these units and dropping down this combo on the right. Nice zap for a lot of zaps actually coming out. Now Barbarians are out on the field. They're looking for blood. And here comes the bats to help clear that out. Prashant looking fairly strong. And finally revealing his minion horde there. But if you keep this in mind, look at the tower on the left. That was one big push thanks to the Sparky. Look at the damage that the tower took on the left. And this is going to be a fairly difficult game for Prashant to close out. He needs to figure out how is he planning to do damage to his opponent, who actually has a lot of great defensive units in his arsenal there. So it's going to be quite interesting outlook to see this game panning out. Minion horde zapped away fairly quickly. A heal card being used. However, so many minions already lost. This is going to be quite a waste of elixir here because they could not get any value out of this. So the bats are out in loose, and the giant still alive, now hitting the tower. That's a lot of hits that the tower is going to tank there, and bringing it down less than 800 health. This is going to be a game that's slowly moving in Beast's favor. A P.E.K.K.A being dropped by PP. Beast opting for a Sparky there. Sparky fully charged up. Does Prashant have a zap for this? He's actually split his units on the left hand side. This is going to be quite a push that he needs to bring in. The heal also comes out, healing all the units fairly quickly. And a zap is required on the left. Finally drops down. Good defense on the right, by the way. And a poison finally comes out. Beast is going to be taking this game in his favor. That was quite an interesting game, and it was nice to see Beast coming out on top there, because he held on like next level holding, like next level defense there between these two opponents. And we have still 2 more games to go. Score is only 2-1, and it's a best of 5. So things have not changed a lot. Prashant now actually needs to win 2 games in a row if he wants to take this game. If he wants to take this best of 5. Beast already in a fairly comfortable spot there, taking a lead of 1. He needs to he needs 1 single game to win this best of 5. So we're going to be rolling into the next game right away, and let's see how things have changed. And a lot of things have changed for Beast. I see he's opted for the balloon this time, and not only just the balloon, he's gone for the lava loon deck with the flying barrel. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how Prashant is going to react to this. Prashant already revealing his big card, and that is the Goblin Hut. Now he needs to figure out how he's going to deal with that Goblin Hut, because he's not been able to do a lot of damage to it. So well defended there by Prashant, and Beast now saving up to do the big push, and he's going to drop the Lava Hound all the way in the back. Yes, he's dropping the Lava Hound, and he's going to supplement that Lava Hound with some units behind it. And now Prashant looking at this as an opportunity to push on ground. Drops a lot of units there. Miner also dropped, which was taken care of, and the Ghost also comes out. So look at this, how he has punished his opponent for dropping the Lava Loon combo. That balloon complete in full health right now. Poison also dropped. The balloon finally makes contact and will be able to drop 2 bombs before going down, bringing the tower's health down to 490. Wow. Beast off to a great start. Prashant now knows and will be punishing his opponents from making such crazy moves. And I'm interested in seeing how Prashant will play the moment he sees a Lava Hound being dropped. Interesting other card that Beast is yet to reveal, as he has Lightning. He could lightning these towers down also, any big units coming out. And finally, the Lightning strikes, and he actually missed the Miner, I believe, but it got the tower and got the Goblin Hut. So the job well done, but remember that was 6 elixirs spent there, and he doesn't have a lot to stop this push. But he manages. He manages pretty well. Still in a great shape. Beast Tower is at 900 compared to Prashant, who is 197. 52 seconds left on the clock. This is a double elixir time. So it's now and never for PP, because he needs to figure out how is he going to bring down that tower. drops the P.E.K.K.A. at the very back. And here comes another zap. 40 seconds left on the clock. Will that P.E.K.K.A. be able to make it across and take this tower down in the next 32 seconds? We will find out right away. Let's see. A balloon dropped aggressively on the right hand side. A goblin hut comes in, so that means there's going to be not a lot of push coming in there. P.E.K.K.A. being distracted completely on the other side because that's the only unit that'll be helping to bring this tower down. P.E.K.K.A. again distracted with more units. Does he have enough time? 12 seconds. The P.E.K.K.A. is almost to the tower and brings it down. We are going into overtime, ladies and gentlemen. And there comes the lightning to help him out. He is completely surrounded with units, but that Mega Minion just taking free pot shots at everything. And Prashant finally able to pull this match into a draw. Beast now needs to make something happen. There's only 2 minutes and 48 seconds left on the clock. The Lava Loon combo has been dropped, and here comes the balloon. He's going straight for the kill. There's nothing stopping him. There is an Eviz just slowing him down a little bit at a time. However, balloon, wow, look at the P.E.K.K.A. has actually made it to the tower. Balloon does bring a lot of damage. The P.E.K.K.A. now stopped by the Royal Guard. Great unit to face off against the P.E.K.K.A. And even a graveyard being brought down. That's a lot of units. A lot of cheap units being used to defend against this. Very well defended. Here comes the P.E.K.K.A. again, dropped very aggressively. You do not want that P.E.K.K.A. touching your tower. What are you going to do? Just bring out a lot of damage. The P.E.K.K.A. quickly taken care of. Now Prashant is saying good game. He has no answer to Beast's defense because his defense is next level at the moment. The miner coming in, I believe this is a waste of a miner, by the way. I guess he just figured that he'll not be able to defend against this balloon, who is now going for the main tower. So balloon, the moment he touches this tower, this is GG. And there you go. Good game coming out. And Beast coming at a 3-1 victory. Beast completely... Look at his record right now. 9-1 is his record. 10 games played. Beast has won 9 out of them and lost just a single game. He's been an absolute beast throughout the tournament, man. I'm really looking forward to seeing him at the LAN event. However, for now, we have to move on to Counter-Strike very, very soon. I'll pass it back to the analyst table, who can do a bigger, in-depth breakdown of this game. Back to you, Vagish and Zara. Take care, guys.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the studio segment. First of all, shout out to Gautam Workaholic Work for doing an amazing job at casting every single time. Noted. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is the ESL India Premiership 2018 Summer Seasons' Masters League. And now we see Suteekshan based Joshi adding one more win from that total number of games played.
I think he's the only
Pandey.
player to have won 10 games so easily. And I wouldn't say easily because Prashant put up an amazing set of games against him. If we talk about just breaking them down, each game had something so different in them. If we talk about the first game where there was the P.E.K.K.A., there were the Zappies, both the players had P.E.K.K.A.s actually. The only mistake that PP really made was he did not calculate the elixir at the last minute. He did send the miner, and to defeat the miner, he used the P.E.K.K.A., which kind of caused him to lose control and, not see that there was so much ongoing push coming against him other than the miners. So that would be the only mistake he really made in the first game. If you go to the second game, this is where PP really showed me he has different strategies that it's totally different from the rest of the players. He played the combination of a miner and the minion horde. Now the minion horde, I don't know how many people know this, but it has quite a high damage rate, and the only reason he kind of took that game off Suteekshan would be that he really just followed the combination, and Suteekshan had nothing really to hold up against an air defense coming in from Prashant, and that's why he took the game. He did have the 3 musketeers, he did have the log and the goblin hut, and yes, the 3 musketeers very strong for him, but he didn't really even need that. With the miner and the minion horde, the placements of Prashant coming in was so perfect that he kind of just took down the first star, and then I mean, Suteekshan just realized that, hey, you know what? I shouldn't have really played the same deck as I played in the first game. That is one of the reasons why Prashant really got to take the game, because he knew that, okay, if Suteekshan plays the same deck again, he doesn't really have the air defense to kind of defend against my minion horde. And that's what he's going to do against that. That's one of the reasons why he even banned out the Fireball, because Fireball and the arrows are two basic cards to kind of defend against the strong minion horde push. The Zap, of course, helps. It reduces their HP by half, but it doesn't really take them down completely. So if you have something like a tank or like a miner sitting in the front lines, the minion horde still get that much time to kind of do damage. And Prashant did that calculation and he took the game, which gave me a lot of confidence, because I really thought that he may take more games than that after that game. But you know, Suteekshan, once you kind of give him one loss, he kind of, you know, is like, buckle up, I'll show you what my real gameplay is. And that's what happened in the third game. He played his giant, he played his goblin gang, he brought out his spear goblins, which are his main cards. And maybe in that kind of lineup, if Prashant had followed his first deck, which had a royal ghost in it, he would have been able to defend it really well. But he didn't opt to do that, which is a little surprising. He decided to go with the 3 musketeers. He added the P.E.K.K.A. to the list, and he added the battle ram, which means if you're going to go in with so much of aggression, Suteekshan just knows how to defend. And that's what he really did. He made sure that, okay, you know what, maybe the second game you felt I gave you that chance, that opening, doesn't mean that you can go all aggressive on me. And that was the mistake Prashant ended up making. Going to the fourth game, which is the last game of this whole best of 5. I mean, the most beautiful part about Suteekshan is once you give him one loss, he kind of just plays a complete different gameplay. He plays his most confident decks. He went to the lava balloon combination. Now, if Prashant did have his minion horde back into his deck, he would have been able to defend much better, not giving Suteekshan the chance to really take down his stars so quickly. He did try to hold his defense very strong in the second round, where he kind of aimed for the goblin hut to be taken down by the balloon and not really reach his tower. But to that again, Suteekshan knew that, okay, you know what, you have the P.E.K.K.A. I know that. I'm going to first defend your big card that's going to come towards me, and then I'm going to send you something which really you don't have an answer for. And that's why he even called the well played. Well before it was even 600 HP on his tower, he was like, well played, because he knew that once the lava and the balloon hit his star, there's nothing really much that Prashant could do against a push like that.
No.
And that's how he's always played. And Suteekshan again secured another victory. Very happy for the guy. He's got very versatile gameplay. At the same time, he understands what are the weaknesses of his opponents, and he kind of always plays to that weakness. And I think that is why as of now he sits on top of the leaderboard.
Alrighty then, well, that sums up the Clash Royale game we had for ladies German. We will be taking a short commercial break. On the other side, we have an entire game of CSGO lined up, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
They say gaming is easy. They say this is not a job. They say it's a waste of time. But we kept at it. Got better. We grinded, leveled up, and conquered. We are gamers. We are the ESL India Premiership, powered by Omen by HP. That was beast. Game, record, and stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
The ESL India Premiership 2018 has 3 seasons: summer, fall, and winter. The summer season takes place from April to June, while the fall season runs from July to September. Finally, the winter season takes place from October to December. Coming to tournament formats, each season is divided into 3 tiers: the professional tier, the Master League; the semi-professional tier, the Challenger Series; the Open tier, the Starter Cups. Moving on to the...
Welcome everybody, welcome back to the studio segment. No, I'm going to be very sad about it. My PCR does not allow me to do the other work I have to do. Yeah, how is this so cool? Fine, we let that be, yaar. Mamba, we are here back again. Let's exchange energy. Goku and Vegeta back in action, ladies and gentlemen. महायुद्ध, महासंग्राम सिर्फ और सिर्फ ESL इंडिया प्रीमियरशिप 2018 के मंच पर आपको देखने को मिलेगा अगर आपने सब्सक्राइब बटन प्रेस किया है या बेल आइकन बटन प्रेस किया है.
And then you'll get the notification.
नहीं तो आप ये नहीं देख सकते. ये महायुद्ध, ये महासंग्राम आपके स्क्रीन पर. Okay, now after I vented out my anger and frustration, everybody, okay, you know what? Let's do this. ATE versus VAC Banned is what we have lined up for you guys today in the CS:GO segment. So Mamba, okay, stop looking at me with so much anger and hatred, man. Jesus Christ. Okay, you know what? I'll let Mamba also take over for some time, but only after we introduce the teams to you guys. Let's start off with ATE. Alright, Kappa, Ritz and gang there. That's ATE gaming for you guys. Mama, what do you have to say about this team?
I mean, I could go on and on about these guys, right? Because these guys have been around for such a long time. But there are 2 new players. They are Hellfighter and Deathmaker. So these 2 new kids have been impressing me. They've been impressing me a lot because of the way they've been playing, and they've been blowing all of us away. Because we've seen them play for teams like Goutfits. I mean, G Outfits. I mean, Adi's gonna get triggered by this because there are a lot of people who used to call it Goutfits because that's a disease.
Me and Adi have also made quite some.
It's G Outfits, but it's just a force of habit because of hearing it so many times.
Or is it Go Outfits?
It's G Outfits. It's not GOO. It's only GO.
No, maybe the other O is silent. It's a part of that O. You know how logos are.
It's invisible anyway, but nonetheless, it's called G Outfits. Gamers.
I caught you
no,
there.
it's a company which stands for Gamers Outfits because it sells T-shirts.
I'm just messing around. Mama, you know me, buddy. You know how I am, man. I like messing with you, man.
Both of us know each other, but the viewers would probably get confused, right? So for the benefit of the viewers.
They're just enjoying the show, aren't you, people? Of course, how can you? You did not press the subscribe button. You did not press the bell icon button.
It's alright. They are gonna do that. But talking about these guys.
No, Mamba, I'm angry with them. After what day of the Premiership is it today? Mahadev. Oh my God, this Mamba is no different from the Loki from Thor Ragnarok. You see, this is what he does to buy time in the studio, ladies and gentlemen. Sly tactics.
It's about my floor manager not being here and helping me with my headphones because it's kind of hard to wear it. Yeah, it's a cable which is getting messed up. So, but yeah, talking about getting back to the teams, right? AT Gaming obviously have been around for a really long time, and Ritz, by the way, has lost a lot of weight. I mean, he has been going to the gym, and his picture was quite evident. Picture, he has lost a lot of weight, but in the game, though, he's still a heavyweight. In the game, these guys still have their stature, even though they are old players. Even though the reflexes might not be as sharp, but the experience kicks in. And well, the best part is they have the young talent, Deathmaker and Hellfighter. these guys can step up when they have to, with their individual skill, with their raw firepower and raw talent, and there's enough experience to back them up. And then there's Kresh, who's between both of these guys.
Interesting. In fact, let's look at the opposition here. Team VAC Banned. That's VAC Banned for you, ladies and gentlemen. Mamba, you had something to add.
Oh yeah, VAC Banned. I mean, it's all right. So even though there are certain people, a lot of people think this team is more than capable of putting a better performances, but for some reason these guys haven't been able to do that. And I've mentioned this before as well, that they've had certain players going away. But Ranekaka has been very impressive. I actually played a few pugs with Spawn about 3 or 4 weeks back, and I was just going around chilling. And Spawn is a pretty decent player as well. He has that awareness.
I mean, if you're in the Masters League, you're all good players. I mean, you
are
can't
good players, but there's something I'm still yet to figure out. The reason behind their performances, the reason behind the lack of their exceptionally good performances, because even though they have the capability, even though they have the potential, they're still not being able to surprise us all that much.
Alrighty then let's quickly move on to the map pick veto and see what's in store for us there, because that's going to pretty much sort out everybody's. Okay then.
Mirage, alright. I mean, alright, so Inferno being banned out by AT Gaming, it's not surprising, but it's just been one of those maps which I would not expect to be the first ban. But even though, I haven't been able to follow CSGO all that much, I've not been able to follow ESL in the Premiership due to exams, so I'm not quite sure what the exact veto usually is. But Train being the perma ban for VAC ban, it's pretty evident. Train being banned out first, Nuke also being banned out, not at all surprised, right? The Opass and Dust 2, obviously no one wants to play Dust 2 because no one has really played Dust 2 after it came back in. Opass, not that surprised, but Mirage, now this is where things start getting a little tricky, right? Even though they've been even though I'd probably give AT Gaming an upper hand, but since it's a map like Mirage, I think
it's a more puggy style game.
Puggy map, yeah,
you're going to
obviously.
see.
We've been
it's all
saying this
aim-based hits coming from left, right, center. People going underpass, hitting them from across A. Then
yeah, it's actually underpass control is one of those things which is actually pretty crucial. And being the terrorist while you're trying to take that control, your timing has to be exceptionally on point. I'll tell you why. Because even if you have high mid control, right? Just in case if anyone,
like
for example, if an AWPer manages or an assaulter manages to jump down window and catch you off guard, then you have literally nowhere to fall back to. It's a straight tunnel. There are no left or right exits, so it's a very crucial point for the map control, because if you have high mid control, if it's late in the round, right? So usually you'd see teams taking underpass control late in the round. So alright. So it's a little difficult to explain like this without being in the game actually. But I just go on to say that the timing for taking underpass control is pretty crucial.
Indeed. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was the map there. In fact, let's have a map video in order and see what the map is all about.
Mirage. While Mirage relies heavily on middle control, thus enabling the terrorists to oscillate to either bomb site, it offers a different dynamic of seizing bomb sites instantly through carefully placed smoke grenades.
Alright, that's Mirage for them. The viewers. I'm like, what more do I add? Aim-based map, puggy gameplay.
No, obviously, but the mid control also plays an important part.
Oh, of course, you've already spoken about it. Like the underpass control and the mid control both go hand in hand.
One of the most important things I feel that even though when you get the underpass control, right, it opens up a lot of more room for you to take connector control, or maybe just try and get that pick towards connectors, right? Because once the opposition knows that you are towards connector, they have to concentrate. When you are towards underpass, they have to concentrate towards connector, and that just makes the job for the CTs really hard. Because, for example, imagine if they're playing a retake, right? So if there's a guy towards the CD spawn, there's a guy playing mid, and there are two guys towards the B bomb side, and one of the guys is down. It just makes that situation a little too difficult, right? So I think it's one of the most crucial things in the map to take care of. And one of the other things that I've been really happy about and seeing this thing is that we've had teams which go for B executes. We've always seen teams going towards A execute for the A execute, because certain smokes towards B bombs are really precise, I'd say. For example, the pillar smoke. I remember this was back in 2016, by the way. I was playing for Simplex, and we used to scrim against Brutals and all of these guys. And even in Simplex, right, or even for Brutals, sometimes they would fail the smoke, and it was a pistol round strat where you just smoke off short, smoke off both the pillars, throw a flashbang to blind anyone towards short or towards a bench. That opens up the entire bomb set. So what you do is, the first two guys, since short is smoked off, the CT still needs some time to react, right? They cannot push the smoke, they'll get overwhelmed. The first two guys will go and take kitchen control, and this is something that was in the meta for a while. It's went away. We've seen new executes coming in as well. I'd be really happy if we could see that again today.
All right. We'll take a look at the standings now. Yep. We need the standings. We need the standings to understand how this game is going to tip off. Because VAC Banned in the 11th position, ATE Gaming the 7th. They're in the cushy spot, but they're borderlining the danger zone here, Mamba. So anything can happen. Well,
that's absolutely true.
But in comparison to the fact that the kind of firepower VAC Banned is facing, I'm sorry, I'm not like against you guys, gentlemen, at VAC Banned. It's just that it would be nothing short of a miracle.
Well, I'll tell you what. So, if you look at the standings very carefully, right? War, probably E3, and Slaughter Rage Army. These are the only three teams that VAC Banned would probably have an easy run against. Invictus, Entity Gaming, Brutality, Portal Esports, Intensity, Punifab. All of these guys are so individually skilled.
The big guns, they're howitzers waiting to fire, man.
Exactly, and it just makes your life really hard, because when you are in a group of teams in the Masters division, right? Putting up those consistent performances against players like these guys, against people like these guys, it's extremely difficult, believe me, because
not impossible, but tough.
It's tough because the other team is consistent as well in their efforts, and that is the reason why they're sitting on top of the scorecard on the leaderboard. So I still give props to VAC Banned because of the way they've been playing. Even though it was one of those teams which I didn't really expect in the Masters division in the first time itself in the summer season, but they were still invited because they put up consistent performances last year. But it's just a little upsetting because we expect better of them. It's not about we have something against them, but it's just that we expect better of them because we know the potential that these guys carry.
Alrighty then. So then let's quickly head off into the game and see what's in store for us there.
Good evening, dear viewers. Welcome back to the ESL India Premiership. We're well underway with the Masters League. And today's game is going to be played between ATE Gaming and VAC Banned. And joining me today is, well, the skeptical yet positive, the one and only Mr. Aditya Adisha.
Thank you, Fet. Yes, skeptical and positive. I like that. I definitely like that. VAC Banned's going to be starting off on the T side and AT on the CT side because they've won the knife round. And it does look like it's going to be a fast execute onto the A bomb side. The flashes are pouring in and it is that Apps Flood. Hellfighter, though, is going to get the first frag. He's going to get a second one tap onto spawn. He's not going to be taken down. He's still alive and kicking. The bomb site has been run over, but no casualties for the CD side yet. Kappa does fall, but Ryder does reply back, and Hellfighter with the third for the round on Jimmy. Wow, that was a fast round, and Ranikaka is going to be taken down by Ritz as well. And that's actually a really clean hold coming in from AT.
Yeah, just one casualty, and my god, that stack towards CT, it's like VAC Banned took that bait, hook, line and sinker. It was a retake play towards the A bomb side being set up by ATE, and kudos to them, they never had to retake anything. It's basically the frags were presented to them on a silver platter, and Hellfighter going huge for his team. 3 frags for him on the opening round. And if you let this man get a start, he's gonna be scary for the rest of the game. He has been one of the standout performers for ATE, and that's basically, he's off to a flying start. That's all I can say. But now is the true litmus test. It's the anti-force. Adi, how many times have we seen these rounds not go as we have predicted?
Every time when SRA hasn't played. I think SRA is the only team who has a near 80% record of winning their anti-force spells. And that's surprising, right? Because SRA has finished all their matches and they're sitting at 5 wins and 6 losses on the leaderboard. So I think they need to work on their gun rounds, considering they've won so many pistols and anti-ecos. But yeah, I mean, it's a slow round now coming out by VAC Banned. A lot of CZs actually, armor on everyone. No grenades though, which is gonna hurt them. Spawn's gonna be taken down by Hellfighter. He's being aggressive at the A ramp position, and Kappa, if he's patient, he can definitely spot out Freekill and Chris, who were just standing below them. Deathmaker making a lot of noise. Jimmy sneaked in to the B bomb side. He's gonna get a frag onto Ritz, but Kappa is patient. He's gonna get Chris. And the Jimmy though, he's still alive. Deathmaker is finally gonna put him down, and that leaves Freekill, who's been spotted out, making a lot of noise. Deathmaker's gonna mop up with that frag as well, and a clean anti-eco coming in from ATE just because you demanded it, Fed.
And that was pristine, just one casualty of war, and I think against the force buy, that's a pretty decent outcome. Ritz does get taken out, but again, Hellfighter, Deathmaker, Kappa all chiming in with kills of their own, and Hellfighter yet another multi-kill round. I told you, this is one guy who you need to keep an eye out for, and it's a shame that he couldn't make it for the Optic tryouts, because I'm pretty sure, given his level of impact that he's been consistently having throughout this season, he stood a very good chance of making it.
Yep, the Optic tryouts are the reason why we didn't have a live game yesterday for you guys as well. We decided to give the teams, you know, the chance, because we want to uplift Indian esports and uplift the players, and Optic is doing that in India. So we were like, all right, take your day off, we'll reschedule the game for you, even though it's against our rules, because, you know, it's like an emergency situation and it's a once in a lifetime opportunity, so why not? But VAC Banned is going to be eco now this round, and I do want to point out, by the way, VAC Banned has played this map twice, Mirage that is, twice in the ESL India Premiership prior to this game, and they've lost both the times, once against Too Easy and once against Portal Esports, and both of them were pretty convincing losses as such. Like, I think they lost 16-11 to Too Easy, and Portal Esports dismantled them 16-6.
Yeah, it was 16-6, and which is why this veto kind of surprised me, because VAC Banned are not comfortable on Mirage, and well, ATE has struggled on Inferno, so whereas, well, these guys, VAC Banned, are more or less comfortable on Inferno. See, that's what happens when you don't really have a map pool. Okay, then. Ryder is getting ridden by Freekill Wow's knife. That's an easy stabby, shanky, but Hellfighter, he's going to pick up the kill, and Jimmy could get the plant in. Indeed, he does. That's mission accomplished for VAC Banned, even though, you know, ATE again just lose one player, but they get a stabby in, which is $1,500, and the plant, which is $800 extra. So VAC Banned basically are going to be swimming in money. At least one player is going to be swimming in that cash. He's going to be channeling his inner Scrooge McDuck. That is going to be free kill, but that $800 extra means everyone can have everything they've ever wanted, including utility, the AWP, AK-47s, armor, you name it, they've got it. And ATE, it's going to be the same story for them as well. Ryder with the AWP out on them, and Ritz deciding to continue with that UMP. It's more or less players from ATE just carrying their buy forward. It's just right. Wow. Ryder not putting that op to any use. Kappa should look to upgrade, or Ritz maybe can take up the op. He was in his heyday an opper as well. And Kappa no slouch with the zoom banger either.
Yep, and that knife actually was the difference there. That it's the reason that Freekill could actually pick up the op and give it to Jimmy, because everyone else was sitting at about $5,000 while Freekill was sitting at $6,800, which means that he could have all the armor, the op, everything. Nobody had to go glass cannon basically, and hence that op came out, and that op already got the first pick in this round. So really important frag there. Kappa though with the re-aggression, and Rani Kaka is gonna fall, but at least the man advantage basically has been neutralized. And Freekill though, he's gonna punish Kappa while he's trying to fall back, and again it's what? Another trade. I don't understand why Chris just walked out of the apartments there.
I mean, it's I can only attribute it to one thing, and that is lack of communication. Considering that Chris was the passive lurk, there's no reason for him to, you know, show his presence at that time that he did, given the rest of the scenario in the round. Spawn is gonna smoke off B short.
I think it missed.
Oh yeah, I think it landed on the roof. Yeah, it missed by a mile.
Super general.
Super General.
The Deathmaker is gonna burn Spawn alive. Jimmy with the op. Oh, right, from B short. I thought that was close range, but from B short, covering his teammate. The bomb plant's gonna come in. Ritz, is he gonna expect it? That's a great shot onto free kill. The adjustment was just right for him. Jimmy now in a 1v2 situation. Ritz and Hellfighter. They should be able to trade this in. They should be able to do it. It's a quite a... Ooh, Jimmy missing the shot. He shouldn't have missed that, and now he's gonna switch over to the CZ. He's trapped between a rock and a hard place. Ritz is gonna take him out with the USP, and ATE. Not as clean as they would have liked it, but at least it's a 4th round on the board. And for VAC Banned, they got the bomb plant in, so they're probably going to buy into this round as well, and that's good for them.
Yeah, I could literally see Ritz tap dancing by Empty Pillar there, like in his head. I could hear it from all the way here in Bangalore. Him singing, Jimmy, 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 Aja, 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 Aja.
What?
Dude, you really need to get up to date with your Bollywood, man. Come on. This is like an iconic song from the, golden era of Bollywood.
I mean, so you're saying the golden era of Bollywood, basically when there was no internet, no nothing, where we couldn't get Hollywood movies in India. That was the golden age of Bollywood?
Man, you South Bombay people know. Like, you're from Mumbai, brother. Bollywood. This stuff is great. Anyway, Kappa, he's gonna go pushing up mid. And, well, VAC Banned are gonna be able to cobble together a buy. 5 smokes at least, 1 flashbang. Not the best in terms of utility. It looks like it's gonna be an out-and-out execute to one or the other bomb site.
Yep, a slow round coming in though by VAC Banned. They do seem to have faked towards the A site a little bit, and now it does pull in the rotation from ATE, in fact, but all of VAC Band's players are on their bike. They're hightailing it towards the B bomb site, but Ritz does get the first frag onto Jimmy, and now the rotation is being called back at the double rotation, basically. Ritz with another frag onto free kill, wow, with a 3rd onto Rane. He's unstoppable right now. That op, with a 4th, Spawn could not do anything. Nobody's even touched him till now. And, Kappa, 12 points of health on Chris. He just barely managed to get that frag, but Hellfighter is gonna finish off the round. Another clean round coming in from ATE. 4 out of their 5 rounds. They've had at least 4 players alive, and now you can see it in their economy as well. Ritz is sitting at $10,000, Kappa is at $9,000, everybody else is above $4,000, and wow, ATE just look completely in control right now. And maybe VAC Banned sort of had maybe they thought they could do it on Mirage, because the time ATE's played this game, right? They've only played this once, this map, against SRA, and at that time they won 16-14 against SRA. So maybe VAC Banned was like, there might be something with their Mirage, something we can exploit, but doesn't look the case right now. It doesn't look like there's any chink in the armor of this ATE defense.
One thing though I'd like to point out, Adi, is that VAC Banned bought 5 smokes and threw exactly 0 smokes that previous round. What was the point?
True. That was a fake towards the A bomb site.
Okay.
There were 3 smokes.
Well, then that was... Wow.
Yeah, the fake worked as well, actually, but Ritz getting that first frag, and he was aggressive onto the B apartments, right? So that's what gave AT the advantage and the information. But anyways, it's an eco coming in by VAC Banned. They're rushing B, and the CT's Deathmaker's going to be the first point of contact. He's going to get 2 frags before he's going to get traded out by Rane Kaka, who's in turn traded by Ritz. It's just Chris Overlord alive now, and he's going to find Kappa looking the wrong way. Can he do any more economic damage in this round? Ritz is going to spot him out. He's going to miss the frag though, but Ritz will finish him off with the P250. And it's a cleanish round. It's not bad.
No, again, 3 players staying alive, pretty good. Straight up B rush, you expect to get at least a couple of frags. Kudos to kudos to ATE Gaming that they actually prevented that bomb plant from going in. And see, the fact of the matter is, at this point, VAC Banned, like, it doesn't really matter if they do the economic damage, because slowly the game may start to slip away from them. Yes, they're on the T side. Mirage is a heavily CT-sided map, but given the current meta, you'd at least expect to put 6 rounds on the board if you want to stay competitive in the second half. Bear in mind, this is not an MR30, it's a best of 30, so the first to 16 wins. So you don't get to play 15 rounds on each side, so you need to make each round count. And VAC Banned right now seem a bit too callous. Like they've tried the slow approach, they've tried the fast approach on their, ecos. Nothing seems to be going their way. They've even tried a fake. But
sorry to cut you off. I think they need to go back to the basics of Mirage, right? Which revolves around mid control. I can't remember any round that they've gone for mid control. I think even in their gun rounds, they've just gone for like this elaborate fakes or executes and things like that. They haven't. I think they just need to go back to basics of right now. And by the way, the pause is because Rane Kaka has quit his game. Maybe he rage quit, but no, he didn't really. He's having some FPS trouble, so he's just restarting his game. He'll be back in about 30 seconds to a minute, and we'll get back into it.
I mean, but even during warm-up, right after the knife round, we saw Rane Kaka time out of the server having PC issues. But yeah, hopefully he'll be back soon enough. In the meantime, ATE, even though they're playing a very standard 2-1-2, VAC Banned don't seem to have a read on that because they're walking into bomb sites like fairly casually. Again, they had a flashbang for B, but I don't think they ever ended up using it the round that Ritz just went absolutely apeshit on them with the AWP, getting that insane 4K. And I think what VAC Banned need to do is utilize this timeout, take a step back, take a couple of deep breaths, and just, calm their nerves. They need to tell themselves, guys, it's Mirage. We know this map inside out. Let's just do it. Let's just try something different. As you correctly pointed out, they've not gone mid even a single round. They've just gone straight up A or B, relying too heavily on the executes. And the thing is, at this level, right, the meta has evolved to the point that you can't just be relying on a set smoke execute on towards any bomb site. Knowing fully well that the CTs are armed to the teeth with utility. They're just going to Molotov you out. They're going to keep flashing you. You're going to be blinded. Your executes. By the time you actually make your way onto the bomb site, your health's going to get whittled away by the HE nades, by the Molotovs, and you're going to be blind most of the time because of the flashbangs.
Yeah. They have like a minute and 55 seconds now, right? Since the changes by Valve to actually to plead out that counter-terrorist utility, and I think they need to use that the entire time that they have available to them to to make AT sweat, basically. It's something you need to do. And Mirage it's not really a series-sided map anymore. I think it's more of an even map, maybe 8-7, 9-6. So anything below that for VAC Banned, anything below 6 or 7 rounds, and it's just gonna be it's not gonna be enough, I think.
Yeah, like I said, you need at least 6 rounds on the T side to make it competitive for yourself. Otherwise, you're just digging yourself deeper and deeper into your own grave on the CT side. Now, yeah, historically it has been a CT-sided map, but the thing is, the way the current meta works and how reliant it is on economy control, on the CT side, you lose a few crucial players on a few crucial rounds and your economy is shot to shit. And then you're just playing catch-up for the rest of the half. And you don't want to be in that position. I like where ATE's money is right now. They've gotten themselves a security buffer so that even if they lose this round, they have more than enough to go for a full proper buy in the next one. And maybe even cobble together another buy just based off of that 12k on Ritz. It's going to be difficult. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but they can go for it. However, like, they are in such an economic position that they can get away with just one eco in that case, if indeed they do get broken at some point.
Yep. But anyways, this elongated delay is still due to Rane Kaka missing from the server. And our admins have told them that I think they only have about a minute left in their timeout, in their technical pause. And we do afford the teams 15 minutes of a timeout, by the way, and they already used 7 or 8 minutes right in the start because, again, Rane Kaka was having some PC issues. I think they need to pick up some omens, dude. Some omens. The Omen laptops? or even the smooth product placement, smooth plugging. But yeah, honestly, I have the Omen laptop, right? And it's really, really stable. And at least for CS, it's really good enough because 120 Hertz and everything. It's not, Plus, I could probably plug it in using the mini DisplayPort into a nice 240 Hertz monitor. 300 FPS easy. Maybe they should buy one of those.
See, the problem with most laptops and plugging it to an external display is unless you have a USB Type-C pass-through, you do get noticeable input lag quite a number of times. So again, I haven't tested the Omen. I haven't tested it in a while, so I wouldn't know whether. But again, Hellfight, he's just gonna lay down the spray down. He's not gonna be taking any funny business from VAC Banned, and they're just gonna walk out. And again, like I said, it's the counter flashes, the nades, the utility usage from ATE. It is on point. And considering how dominant they were 5v5, 4v5, I do not see this going the way of VAC Banned. Indeed, it does not. It is a massacre. It is slaughter at the gates.
But no harm, no foul. Rane Kaka is back into the server now. And he has a lot of money, actually.
I mean, yeah, he can drop an AK, I think, over to
2 AKs. He dropped 2 AKs over, by the way, and he sacrificed a little bit of utility, but the rest of his team is making up for it. But really, I think VAC Banned right now needs to go for some mid control and just go back to the basics. Again, they tried something elaborate. They tried to walk out dry into A. I mean, not really elaborate, but something different. But finally now they're going for mid control, but the smoke has missed. Kappa is gonna get the frag on to free kill. Jimmy's gonna get the trade, but Ritz is there for the instant trade. Rane Kaka again walking out of the smoke, and he's gonna get punished for that by Hellfighter. It's just, I mean, even when they go for it, what's with that mids? How can you miss that, the cross smoke? No, I mean, I can understand missing the window smoke, you know, directly from CD spawn, because that's actually from T spawn, sorry, because that's actually a difficult smoke. But yeah, I mean, VAC Banned's sitting at the 11th position and in the Masters League, so I think we can tell why.
And Adi, what am I watching right now? Because, like, okay, you missed the mid smoke, crossing smoke. That's a strict no-no. And then you see that you've missed the crossing smoke. Why not just lay down another? Like, why walk out like lambs to the slaughter, and then the player walking out A ramp? What was he thinking? But again, credit where credit is due. ATE pouncing on the opportunities that, you know, the mistakes from VAC Banned are. all right. Okay, this is just adding insult to injury. Chris getting deep fried in T ramp. My God, Adi, just.
Look, I mean, I can understand what not Rane Kaka, whoever it was at T ramp. Actually, it was Rane Kaka. He walked out of the smoke at T ramp, right? I'll tell you when that works. That only works if your teammates at middle have got enough frags, have got a frag or two, right, and a couple of trades or something or the other that forces the A ramp defender to reposition. But instead, he just walks out when all of his teammates are dead, and finally they get the smoke right. Ryder does get flashed, but he does fall back. That Molotov is absolutely pointless. It goes straight into the counter-terrorist smoke. And now, again, finally, actually, VAC Banned have mid-control without any casualties. But as soon as I say that, Kappa, from above the smoke, takes out Rane Kaka in the underpass. But Jimmy is there for the trade. And now, finally, VAC Banned with some semblance of control in this, in map control, that is, in this round.
You know, the moment you said that, I think Kappa in his own head heard it and went like, Kappa, and got that kill. But yeah, like you said, traded out, it's still even. Stevenson, where, how, what?
Jimmy sneaking in from the CD spawn. Deathmaker, though, he's still gonna be able to get a frag. In fact, he gets a second. What are VAC Banned doing? That's absolutely disgusting by Deathmaker, though. In that position, he shouldn't have got even one frag, and Ryder's there to close it out with 2. Jimmy had everything going for him. VAC Banned had everything going for them. They had the backstab from the market position. But somehow, the heroics by Deathmaker bailing them out from an unwinnable situation.
I mean, yeah, Deathmaker really turning the screws on VAC Banned and turning the tides of that round. But frankly speaking, he should never have gotten one, let alone 2 frags from that position, considering that Jimmy had already spotted him. I really don't know what's going on. Adi, this really looks like a complete shutdown of communication. Are they in the same TeamSpeak lobby at this point, is what I'm wondering.
And what I fear is that sort of round, by the way, it completely destroys your confidence. I've played... Whoa.
Oh, someone's revving their engines in South Bombay, ladies and gentlemen. Start your engines. Just as the revving starts, so does VAC Banned's hit on the A bomb side. Hellfighters completely blinded. And Jimmy, true to his name, true to his form, he has made his way onto the side, only to get shut down by Mr. Hellfighter himself. But there come the trades. Kappa raining death and destruction with his M4 onto 2 people. And now it's all down to the lonesome IGL, Mr. Chris himself. They have armor pistoled it up, but they are on max loss bonus for I don't know how long. So, you know, right now it's not about the economy. It's literally about getting points on the board. And VAC Banned, please get at least 1 round on the board.
Yeah, and again, it was at least this time it was a force buy by VAC Banned, right? They did manage to put in some damage, but ATE right now is being as brutal as that bike outside my window. By the way, my room is soundproofed. That's how loud that bike was. Completely, I mean, what is that word?
Asinine.
Yeah, probably. But Chris, his mic just, the sound, Ritz figures it out, turns around, repositions. He's gonna get the frag with the op as well. That's absolutely unfortunate for Chris. And Ritz is like, oh, you're gonna knife me? Nah, my friend, nah.
No. Not today. Once is enough. Oh no, that was Ryder who got, you know, prison yard shanked in the back with a shiv.
Oh yeah, by the way, sorry to cut you off again. Ryder has replaced Krish in ATE Gaming. I have received an email, by the way, from the manager of ATE Gaming stating that Krish is no longer with them. But of course, he is roster locked till the end of the season, so they might as well have used him.
I know.
But anyway, Jimmy missing the shot onto Deathmaker. It's another slow round coming in by VAC Banned. Jimmy is gonna get forced ahead. A couple of nades. They've not done any damage though. The smoke has come in though. Jimmy rattling off a shot, but the Molotovs, the utility usage by ATE to trap them into that tiny room. It's not gonna come to fruition though. They're gonna have to fall off the angle. At least Ritz is. And it does look like VAC Banned is gonna go for some sort of execute onto the B bomb side after a little bit of a fake onto A. And again, they're going for the elaborate, but I honestly think they should just bunch up at this point. 10 rounds the elaborate hasn't worked. Why would it work now? Hellfighter spots out Chris walking out of the A ramp. And Deathmaker, he whiffs his spray, does get free kill vow really low. But somehow Deathmaker's still gonna get a frag onto Ritz while onto Jimmy, while Ritz does mop up the rest. It's a flurry of frags, and Chris is now left in a 1v3 situation. And he's gonna get taken out by Ryder. The double ops stinging for ATE.
I'm at a loss for words, Adi. Like I've cast my fair share of, you know, Counter-Strike in the past 1.5 years, but till date I have never seen the dismantling of a team such as this. It looks like ATE just woke up on the wrong side of the bed and they were like in destruction mode today. They're just wrecking everything that comes in their path. Hellfighter again. Who plays this angle? Look at the balls in this guy and gets 2 kills. He's like out in the open. He's like, bell, mujhe maar, and he comes and gets like 2 kills out of the blue. And now it's all down to Spawn and he's gonna get nailed to the wall by that AWP. Ryder is just like, not today. 16-0, here we come.
This is a massively dominant performance coming in by AT Gaming, by the way. Day before, they played Portal Esports off stream because it was a rescheduled game. And they defeated Portal Esports 16-3 on cash. So clearly AT Gaming has come into their own now and they're just showing that they can be absolutely ruthless when it comes to it. And VAC Banned now, they have absolutely no answer to this. They're gonna try something else as well. They're gonna go underpass. It is another force buy, just pistols and armor. They haven't been able to do it with ops, with M4s, with AKs, rather. But Ritz is gonna fall to the CZ, the powerful CZ, right in the face of Ritz. It's gonna recover that op as well. Kappa though with a great flashbang. He's gonna get the frag onto Ranikaka. He's gonna be able to fall off as well. Ryder gets another one as well. The man advantage is all of a sudden in ATE's favor. In fact, it's going to be a 4v2 situation now. And even when VAC Banned get the first frag, nothing goes their way after that because of ATE's brilliance. And I say that, and Kappa walks out randomly and dies to free kill. The curse of the commentator.
I mean, at this moment, it's just confidence play, right? I swear, ATE, for lack of a better word, are just kicking around with VAC Banned all over the map. VAC Banned are like that. They're like that football right now that gets kicked around the playground by every kid, and
has lost all its air.
Yeah, it's just deflated. It's defeated. There's no strut in its stride. And VAC Banned and ATE are just like, alright, if you're gonna roll over, keel over, and die, we're gonna make it as painful for you as possible. They're just rubbing it like victory in VAC Banned's faces right now. Nothing's hitting. You can see from the confidence how deflated VAC Banned are. Free kill, missing that shot. Finally, the opening pick. Hellfighter, the danger man, getting taken out, and Ritz getting taken down very low. Still has the AWP, but Kappa just neutralizing the man advantage ever so casually, like they're walking out and getting kills left, right, and center. This is ridiculous, man.
Ritz and Ryder, they're stuck now, but Jimmy does have to fall back because he's lost the position and the bullets. But Jimmy is going to get the bomb planted in. Couple of smokes helping him cross over to the bomb side. It's a 2v2 situation. If VAC Banned can pick up a round, this is the time to do it. You shouldn't be losing a 2v2 retake. But weirder things have happened. Jimmy's going to get peeked by Deathmaker. He was really low. Standing out in the open like that is absolutely foolhardy. Free kill. He spots out Deathmaker, but Deathmaker is going to take him down. And another round that VAC Banned should have won. The second time in this game. A round that was theirs for the taking has completely been shut out by ATE. And yeah, I mean, like I said, if you can't win those rounds, what are you going to do? It's just, ATE has just been so brilliant today. I can't even fault VAC Banned, to be honest. They've thrown everything and the kitchen sink towards ATE. But that defense has just been... I just look at them right now. Yeah. They're just throwing some extra guns around. They're like, we have so much money, man.
No, Ritz is literally making it rain. He's like, M4 for you, M4 for you, M4 for everybody.
But nobody wants that silenced M4. They're like, that's the wrong M4 to have, my friend.
Exactly. And the thing is, last round, Deathmaker literally pushes Firebox and goes like, huh, free kill. Wow. And just clutches that round out for his team.
But Radekaka does get the man advantage. Ryder finally taken down. That op is not going to sing in this round, but the man advantage has been neutralized. The trade came in by Hellfighter. And Kappa's going to be taken down by Jimmy as well. And now, finally, VAC Banned might be able to pick up a round because they're rotating towards the A position. They have the pincer. And it's only Hellfighter towards the A position, towards the A bomb site, defending it now. Chris is going to be spotted out by him. Hellfighter's going to do the smart thing. He's going to fall back towards the CD spawn, live to fight another moment. Deathmaker, in the meanwhile, from the B-shot position, has taken out Jimmy at the connector. Hellfighter with the op kill onto Chris through the smoke, right from the top of the smoke. And now, all of a sudden, the man advantage is in the CT's favor. Ritz has spotted out Spawn. And he has the angle.
Yeah, this is going to get hairy. If they peek it, they're dead. And they're dead.
The trade, though, comes in by Spawn. I thought that was going to be a collateral, but Spawn does get a double kill. Hellfighter was really low. Deathmaker now at 18 points of health. Spawn at 16. Spawn has the op, though. Deathmaker has the advantage at this point. The bomb plant's going to come in. Is Deathmaker going to check B? The answer is yes, and he's going to see he's going to get Spawn. He's going to catch Spawn looking the wrong way, and that's 15-0. 15-0. Let that sink in for ATE Gaming. What a dominant half.
The dream is alive, Vadi. The dream is well and alive. And my God, just talk about bad luck as well. The moment Chris turns around, he finds himself shot in the butt. And Deathmaker will be like, cool, I'm gonna take that. And look at the frag distribution. It's not like it's been a one-man show from ATE. Everybody has turned up and is firing on all cylinders. Like just take a look at that. 18, 15, 14, 13, 14. You don't get to see a more even distribution of frags in a 15-0 half. This has been one of the most one-sided, if not the most one-sided game I have ever cast of Indian Counter-Strike in my brief history as a caster.
You know, you've been casting for donkey's years, man, Fett. Hasn't it been like 2 years almost?
It's a year, but yeah, in terms of Indian CSGO,
It feels like 2 years.
Yeah, it feels like an eternity. But nevertheless, this has been a treat to cast and watch. Like, this till now has not just been a spanking. It's been like, I don't know what this has been. Adi, you need to come up with a new term, right? It's the B hit.
Jimmy does get the first frag. Free kill is going to get taken down by Hellfighter. Jimmy is replied by 2 frags, by the way. And the bomb plant isn't going to come in right now. It is a 3v4 situation. Jimmy is aware that Ritz could be on the flank, and he gets him as well. Jimmy putting in the work for his team right now. Hellfighter is being whittled down as well. Does get a frag onto Rani Kaka, but Spawn is there for the trade. Ryder now stuck at the WAN position. Gonna be taken down by Jimmy again. And that's 4 frags for Jimmy. The hero play coming in, and VAC Banned does finally pick up 1 round, but it is about 15 rounds too late, I would say.
But the dream is dead, Adi. Long live the dream. The dream is dead.
It is indeed dead. And ATE Gaming, I'm surprised they're actually force buying into this, but why not? They do. They could really. Those Deagles on Deathmaker and Hellfighter could really sing and could really put in the damage and shut this game out 16-1. But if I was in their position, I would have actually gone for the eco. But Chris with the, well, like I said, the Deagle, putting in the work.
He did.
But I like that aggression coming in. Jimmy again, 3 frags for the guy. Wow. Again, he's gonna solo play this. Spawn's gonna get the frag onto Ryder as well. And AT Gaming's force buy is not gonna work out. VAC Banned. What? He's just like, he waited. He paused for a second there. He's like, hey, what are you doing, Ritz?
Oh.
And
that was a glorious double take. Like, huh? Huh?
It was kind of flawless as well by VAC Banned as well. 4 players alive. And AT Gaming is going to go in for the eco now. And I think they honestly should go in for the double eco. And in the 5th round of this half should pick up everything they need. Because, I mean, they have so many rounds in the kitty. They have so many rounds in hand. You don't need to force the issue so early.
Well, let's see. There's still... You know what? I've seen weirder things happen. I've seen comebacks from much worse scorelines. We're gonna get blocked.
It's mission accomplished for AT, by the way. They got the bomb plant. Even if they get a few more frags now, it's gonna help. And they are gonna get 1 more frag at least. And Deathmaker with the knife, he's run past. He can't find him. He's gonna get taken down as well. And the bomb, the full 10-second defuse has come in by Rane Kaka. That's just unfortunate for Deathmaker. That knife would have really helped their economy. But now, since the bomb plant has come in for AT Gaming, they have everything they need. And they can close this out 16-3 if they so wish.
You know, it would have been so poetic if, you know, Deathmaker actually got the knife, because it would have literally mirrored the previous round in the previous half. The same round on the previous half. 1 knife, bomb plant, and a bevy of nades and weaponry going into the first buy round for the T's.
And you see the difference, right? If that knife happened, Deathmaker would have had head armor, he would have had a few grenades, but instead he has an AWP and just no head armor. And against M4s and FAMASs, that's rough, basically. But AT Gaming now, with a slower round, they haven't gone for mid-control again. They've gone for the extremities of the map. They have control over the A-ramp position. They're a little aggressive towards... Ritz is anyways aggressive towards the palace area, the A apartments. And they have B apartments control as well. They're just waiting for some aggression by VAC Banned, which isn't forthcoming.
Yeah, VAC Banned's just like, nah fam, we've had enough. We're just gonna sit on our laurels and wait for you to come to us. Make your move. That's it. They've checked, and now it's ATE's turn to either show their hand, call VAC Banned's bluff, or go all in. Let's see what happens.
But I like this, by the way, by AT Gaming. They've done this before as well. The late mid-control coming out by them. They smoked the cross much later in the round after checking for some aggression. And there you go. With that mid-control, Deathmaker picks up the first frag onto Chris. And that might just be the first nail. Well, one of the final nails, actually, in the coffin. That is VAC Banned.
It is shaping up to be a B hit, but look at that free kill. Somehow, is rotating off the B bomb side, but no, the fake has been called out. Raneka coming in a very aggressive angle. He can catch 3 players off guard, and he sprays down 3 players. Raneka, heroics from him, absolutely god tier. And now there's no time left. They ran the clock a bit too late, a bit too low there, ATE. And Ritz is just gonna have to make his peace. Don't die now, Ritz. Hold on to that AK. And slowly but surely, VAC Banned clawing their way back in 1 round at a time. Will they have enough in the tank is the question.
Yeah, but I think Ritz, unfortunately for him, he was trying to go and pick up the AWP that Deathmaker had dropped. But unfortunately, he couldn't make it back in time. And again, AT Gaming is going to have to go with the eco. And Ritz, I want to see if that smoke lands, by the way. I think the lineup has been missed. Nope, I'm wrong. The smoke lands at the middle position, at the window. And it is an eco round by AT. A couple of pistols and armor on Rider and Hellfighter as well. But this should be VAC Banned's round. Spawn again with the aggression. Kappa's being taken down. And that AK on Ritz actually needs to do the bulk of the work this round.
Yeah, that AK needs to sing. And Ritz, I mean, in his heyday, I would have trusted him with it. But then again, the way he's been playing today, look at that. Oh, that timing free kill, wow. Lady Luck just shines on him, but not onto Spawn because he's just going to get taken down. Ritz, okay then. You asked for the AK and it has turned up. Chris needs to be careful. If he
Not like this.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off. It's just like, not like this. Not like this. VAC Banned, not like this.
But then Raneka has come in with the flank, and I don't know if they'll be expecting this, but Deathmaker, he's got the perfect angle for this. Alright, this is over. Oh, da-da, 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 da-da. Oh, the Jags music, the Jaws music playing in my head, and Ritz with the revenge knife onto Chris. Alright, that was one of the most interesting ways to end a game.
And one of the most one-sided ways to end a game as well, right? Just showing your utter dominance with a knife. Ritz just being absolutely cheeky and disgusting there. But yeah, I mean, there isn't much to say about this game. AT Gaming just being absolutely dominant. And VAC Banned, it did look a little promising for them, but it's 15-0 is a massive, massive mountain to climb. And Fett, do you have any closing words? Because I'm at a loss for words because 16-4, AT, so in control.
Yeah, I think the scoreline does all the talking. There's no need for any closing statements. The scoreline is the eulogy for this map.
And yep, apparently it is. So that was Fett and I was Adi. We're going to go back to the studio where Mamba and Vagish can try to break down this game for you and find out where it went wrong for VAC Banned.
Welcome back to the studio segment of the ESL India Premiership 2018 Summer Seasons' Masters League, ladies and gentlemen. Thrashing is the word we're fetching for.
Are you looking forward to another Facebook post, is it?
These are Adi's words, not mine.
No, but it was a pretty one-sided affair, though.
It was a pretty one-sided affair. Come on, let's be very frank about it. VAC Banned are a good team. They are in the Masters League. Not going to take that away from them anywhere, anyhow, any place. It's just that ATE overpowered them, outgunned them, outmanned them wherever possible. Sure, in the last leagues of the game, we saw some furore of action. Though that spray, Rane, Kaka, everybody coming up, rising up to the occasion. Sure, but nah.
I mean, they made a lot of mistakes, actually. I mean, if I was supposed to point out individual rounds, I think I could go on and on for like the next 15, 20
let's
minutes.
not do that. Let's not do
every
that.
single round, I could break down something that was wrong. And I remember this one round where they actually had a man advantage. Or a 2-man advantage. I think it was a man advantage. I forgot the round number, but it was Hellfighter who picked up the op. He got on top of the A tower, got the pick onto stairs, and then they equalized the situation. They lost one more player because they basically went in towards the A bombs. They tried taking jungle control and rotate towards the B bombs, which was, in my opinion, if you know there's an op towards the CD base, it's the most ridiculous decision you can make because it was pretty late in the round. They already had pass information, so there is going to be someone from the B-bomb side watching and keeping an eye towards Kitchen. And Rich did exactly that. He got the first pick. Even though he got traded out in a 1v1 situation, there was not much the other guy could have done because it was surviving on 6 points of health. And that just goes on to show the amount of hesitation these guys had in terms of their decision making. So their decision making was subpar. Even though individually, there were occasions when they stood up with their aim, with their coordination as well, but I think overall the decision making was subpar, and they did not play the best counter strike that they could.
Indeed. I couldn't disagree more with you, Mamba. Well, that sums up today's Counter Strike game, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back again some Dota 2 action. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
They say gaming is easy. They say this is not a job. They say it's a waste of time. But we kept at it. Got better. We grinded, leveled up, and conquered. We are gamers. We are the ESL India Premiership, powered by Omen by HP.
All right, we're back again with the studio segment of the ESL India Premiership 2018 Seasons Masters League. Now, this all has been brought to you by Omen by HP, HyperX and Intel, and presented to you by Nordwind Gaming and ESL India. And also, I have to welcome once again Smile and
Ta-da!
Wave. Smile and Wave.
Hello.
All right, so we have Dota 2, ladies and gentlemen. We have an interesting game lineup between Team Buriza and Reckoning Esports. So let's get done with the introductions, the formalities there. Let's look at Buriza. Okay, this is slightly confusing.
Yeah, I think they've got confused between Team Buriza and Team Buriza.
Are we sure that it's Team Buriza and not Buriza Youth?
Then maybe it's me. It was
Or maybe the
Buriza,
PCR is
so-
goofing with us.
All right, so
Alright,
maybe it is Buriza Youth.
It's Buriza Youth. It's Buriza Youth. Fine,
And that's the
fine.
problem when you have two teams that are named the same. You know, you get a little confused.
Yeah,
at the
man.
end of the
Please
season.
have some separate names.
Yeah.
Jeez, dude. Like, do something.
It's like
makes us look
Buriza
bad.
Youth
See,
and
see,
it's
Angie
Reckoning.
makes sad face.
I'm a little embarrassed about this, but it's all
No,
right.
make sad face. Now
I don't
PCR
know
should
how
feel
to
bad
make-
about it.
No,
No.
but it's great. It's great. It's all right. Even if it's Buriza Youth, they're equally strong, equally powerful, and they're going against Reckoning Esports. Now, between Reckoning Infinity and Reckoning Esports, there is not that much of a difference. They both are very good teams. They both are managed really well, and also they've been analyzing their games perfectly well of their opponents. So if it's Buriza Youth, hats off to Buriza Youth. But we talk about, if I have to just give you a little bit more about Team Buriza also, who was their sister team. As of now, they sit third on the board. And Buriza Youth, not very far behind. We could also get the standings up actually after we kind of introduce Reckoning Esports. So I'll be able to tell you all how far we see them standing. Now look at Buriza Youth. They sit sixth on the board as of now.
Cushy
Meanwhile-
spot. Cushy spot.
Yeah. Meanwhile, their sister team, Buriza, sit third on the board, right below Reckoning Esports, the secondary team that's going to be participating today. 5-4 victory rate, pretty good, I would say, for Buriza Youth. 15 points they've secured, and they have played 9 games. That also means this is their second last game before they end their run in the ESL India Premiership summer season, unless they make it to the land finale.
True. Then let's quickly take a look at the opposition. Then Reckoning Esports. So I'm pretty sure my production people are doing some very nefarious activities, because definitely countdowns don't go like 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There's 6 supposed to be there in between. Stop having beverages post work hours, people. It is harmful, and people don't want to extract kidney stones as infinity stones. That is the latest trend. You know, extract
Really?
kidney stones as infinity stones. No, that's a cheap joke.
All
on
right, but
Thanos.
Reckoning Infinity, Reckoning Esports.
Esports.
There you go.
You are
There you go.
responsible now,
Reckoning
Angie.
Esports, they sit second on the board as of now. Won 6 games, lost 2 games, looking very comfortable. Mostly going to be their land finale. Most interesting teams, actually, apart from Signify and ROG Titans. Also talking about ROG Titans, I haven't seen them play quite a while now. I mean, Signify, as a matter of fact, they've not been playing. I
Well,
miss
RG
these
Titans
two
have just played
teams.
5 games. They've won all 5
Yes.
of them, and they have not lost a single game altogether. So it's going to be tough, because now Reckoning Esports is closing in. Like it's reached that barrier. It's crossed
Yeah.
that barrier. It's like the PUBG circle. It's the third
True.
circle.
It's the third circle.
Everybody's there now. Anything
Yeah.
can happen.
Anything can happen. And that's what makes it the most interesting time in the ESL India Premiership,
Yeah,
because the
yeah,
games get
indeed.
more intense. And as we talk about the games getting intense, the draft has gone live. As Vicky said, we see that Pang and Razor get back from Reckoning Esports. Meanwhile, Buriza Youth going to ban out the Pit Lord and the Skyrath Mage. Good bans coming there. I mean, Pit Lord being devastatingly strong. Skyrath Mage, too much of damage coming out from him in the early stages of the game. You don't really want to deal with that kind of magic damage on your carry heroes. Meanwhile, Razor being the salute ban as always. Otherwise, he's always picked up. The poor guy at least gets a chance here and there once in a while. But as we see the third ban still running on the clock, it's going to be the Tusker getting banned, and a quick pick in coming there from Buriza Youth.
The Scam King. The Scam King, as they like to call him nowadays, or
Scam
rather
King.
Angie likes to call him.
He's just
Scam
too
King.
good. I mean, we saw him yesterday.
The
and
Scam King with the Scam Blink.
We saw him yesterday play, and he did a 3-man stun. So even though Valve has tried to nerf this hero in a lot of
You
ways,
can't nerf
you
Scam
can't-
King.
you
He will
can't
come
nerf him.
forward and do new scam.
Exactly. I mean, he's a fantastic hero, and he fits into any lane. You set him in the off lane, he's fine. There, you set him as a support. You pick up that blink on him, and he's pretty much set. Now that I see Buriza Youth picking up the Sand King, I also want to know whether they are going to go for the Lifestealer Infest Bomb combination. This is also the team, actually not this team, but their sister team, Team Buriza, who were one of the teams in the ESL India Premiership, the only team in the ESL India Premiership that picked up the Anti-Mage against one of their matchmates. So I'm hoping that maybe they've taken something from their book looks and may show us anti-mage today. But for now, Reckoning Esports deciding to pick up what they would like. The Legion Commander getting a ban there because they play that hero so beautifully well. They like to play the DK, the Leshrac still being in the pool, the Razor still, sorry, the Leshrac, the Jakiro, the Clockwork. Some of the favorite pickups for these two teams, most of the teams in the ESL India Premiership. But Reckoning gonna take some time with this pickup. They know what they want, but it's Buriza youth. They gotta be a little careful, and this is gonna be a very interesting choice, whatever they go with.
Building in the tension, man. They're building up the tension too.
Yeah, and I think they should go for the Monkey King. They like to play the Monkey King. Even they like to play the Sladar and the Juggernaut. Now, normally the carry doesn't get picked up in the first round of pick and ban phase because it kind of showcases where the lineup is actually going with the draft. But for now, they're going to go and pick up the legendary Night Stalker, which means that Buriza, you got to be careful about their vision with that first pickup itself. And with that, Reckoning East, we're going to secure that Rubik, another favorite pick of theirs. Syncs well with the Night Stalker. There's a lot of opt to go for a Nyx Assassin if they like in the off lane. Nowadays, also with the 7.15 meta coming in, the laning phase has changed quite a bit. We do see an aggressive tri-lane coming in from the Dire side, which comes on the bottom lane, and they just like to send one person in the safe lane. There's no real support coming in for the top carry. Now, they decide to go with that kind of lineup. Buriza, you've got to be careful that whichever hero they pick as their carry is able to sustain in the laning.
The onslaught, yes.
And I mean, when we talk about the onslaught, even in the mid lane,
a troll warlord. I presume Buriza youth could do well with the troll warlord.
I think it would fit beautifully. I mean, the troll warlord, early Rosh fights, you can even get up that goal. He can even be part of a lot of fights. And as we speak of that, Buriza youth going to pick up that Shadow Shaman. Works well. One of our favorite picks, of course, in the ESL India Premiership. The Witch Doctor, of course, going to be missed out today. But that's all right. The Rubik there to save the day with him. That also means that for now, the supports have been picked up from both the teams. That means they're still looking for their mid lane, their carry, and their off lane. You've been getting good at this. I'm getting good at calling out heroes. The Morphling, of course, one of the heroes that I haven't again seen for quite a while in the ESL India Premiership.
Yeah, I believe Morphling has been underutilized. He's got so many good permutations and combinations lined up. Like, see, Morphling, I believe, like, correct me if I'm wrong, like, I believe Morphling fits so naturally well with the heavy hitters because of his abilities and skill sets. Like, I mean, if this Juggernaut, for example, by Buriza Youth, which has been banned by Buriza Youth, had not been banned, Morphling can be a great
substitute for him
in that point of matter.
And as you said, he is pretty tanky. But talking about tankiness, Reckoning Esports got to ban out Death Prophet. They see the Shadow Shaman and the Sand King, and they know that if they give that DP to Buriza Youth, they're basically going to be struggling a lot in the 15 to 20 minute phase in the game, and that they don't really want that. That also says that Buriza Youth will have to change their draft a little bit, make sure that they have somebody to push, but not somebody who can easily put up to a challenge coming from Reckoning Esports, because the gangs are going to be massive and they got to make sure that they be able to counter those gangs. And Buriza Youth and this team is going to battle the Terrorblade.
Terrorblade's been banned.
Oh, I doubt Reckoning Esports would have opted to go for a Terrorblade. They would mostly like to go for something that could hold people in place. They have the Rubik already, so maybe even a Chrono coming in from the Void would be helpful for them. Even a Chaos Knight, as a matter of fact.
Chaos Knight, and for that point of matter, even a Luna has not been banned.
Even a Luna, but the thing about the Luna is that, of course, yes, she fits beautifully well with Reckoning Esports. Very squishy, though. I still feel that Luna is not really given that much of importance even till this very day, is because she needs a lot of basic farm. Now, if she doesn't get those 2 items in the first 20 minutes, she kind of starts downscaling. Even though she's good at pushing, if she gets ganked at the early stage, then she kind of loses her momentum. And once Luna loses her momentum, ultimate has really no value, because the BKBs have become so big in the first 20 minutes that then, you feel that maybe I could have invested all my resources into a better hero.
True.
Well,
Reckoning's gone ahead and banned Lycan.
Nice ban, actually. I should say the Lycan has been completely not paid attention to lately, but he is a very, very strong hero. This, of course, the Lone Druid being another one who has not been given that much importance. But it also comes down to what kind of gameplay and what kind of team lineup your team likes. Reckoning Esports looking to pick their third pick. They could opt to go for a Doom also. Also, the Axe being one of my choices as of now. After 7.15 meta, he fits in well in most of the drafts. Very tanky hero, also able to cut lanes very easily, but he only needs a Blink Dagger to get things rolling for him. So they could opt to pick that since they're banned out the Legion Commander. The Axe could be a good fit for Reckoning Esports, but they're going to take some time. I like how both the teams are finally taking time in the draft phase, not really in much of a hurry to really decide what they want to go with. If they're going to pick up their mid, as of now, the Templar Assassin, the Puck, and the Storm Spirit are still available in the pool. The DK, also one of Reckoning Esports' favorite heroes, still available if they want to opt to go for that.
They've gone for an Omni Knight. That's
I like
great.
that. I like that.
Likey.
Now, normally Omni Knight gets a ban in the first phase, so we never really think about him because he's always banned.
Yeah, we just presume that, oh, he must have gotten banned by now.
Yeah.
Turns out he wasn't. He was lurking in the shadows with that divine light of his, which is ironical because you can't lurk in the shadows with the light.
True that, but he is against the control of Night Stalker, so maybe
Yes.
he can.
Yes.
But as we speak of the Omni Knight, let's talk a little bit more about him. One of the best of laners as of now. He also fits well in the mid to late game section of the game. He can get that Agnum Scepter running, so he has a global ultimate that he can use that kind of just evades all physical damage coming in there from Team Buriza Youth. Of course, physical damage is least of Reckoning Esports' worries as of now. Buriza Youth got to pick up their mid, and as we talk about the mid, the OD
Were you talking about
still up.
Repel by Omni Knight?
Yeah, even his ultimate.
Magical damage.
The magical damage
Repel
is,
blocks magical damage and
No, I'm
does
saying his ultimate.
a
His
Guardian
ultimate-
Angel will...
Guardian Agent basically repels all physical damage.
Yeah, physical
So-
damage, but no magical damage.
No magical damage. So as I spoke about Omni Knight being one of those heroes that handles physical damage, that's the least of their concerns as of now because Buriza Youth is complete magical still
Yes, indeed.
until this part of the draft. Let's see how that goes and fares for them. As of now, we see Buriza Youth looking to pick their mid, mostly order off lane. They could opt to go for the Timber Saw if they like, fares well with the Sand King and the Shadow Shaman. They also could just quickly pick up the OD. He's not been banned yet. They could pick the Viper also, as a matter of fact, because he's also still available for the grasping.
In
But
fact, if you mentioned Timbersaw, I expect a Timbersaw played at the level of which game was it? Yeah, which game was it? Where when OD Pixel was on a rampage commentating spree, like a Timbersaw took on 5 people
are you
simultaneously.
talking about Epicenter's game?
No.
One of
It's happened
Epicenters?
quite some time ago. I'll tell you, OD Pixel was commentating. He was casting the game, and a Timbersaw was caught at the Radiant Fountain, the top fountain,
Yeah.
in a secret shop. And everybody is coming in from all directions. And this guy, he's got a Shiva's guard. He's got,
Yeah.
and he's just surviving. You know, I forgot who was playing. Was it who was it? Was it Misery? I don't know who was it. Who it
Yeah.
was, dude.
I
But
think it would be Miracle otherwise. Miracle.
I know it was not Miracle. It was not Miracle, man. But that OD picks that Timbersaw. Oh
Yeah.
my God, dude.
Yeah.
You can evade 3 people. You can evade 2 people. 5 people throwing everything. There's a macro pyre by
Yeah.
Jakiro. He's just like hooking himself left, right, center. He's being like Spider-Man, using Chakram,
Yeah.
using his reactive
Timbersaw
armor,
is a
everything.
very, very strong hero. And as we talk about strong heroes,
Viper getting picked up by
Viper
Buriza and Wind Ranger.
Ranger. So I see Reckoning Esports, and they have a
And also
beautiful
Bat
lineup.
Rider now.
The Bat Rider, again, we saw him recently in a game, and he wasn't really able to
Not that effective.
do that much. I think the major reason for that is still the Bat Rider kind of gets his first item, which is the Blink Dagger. His lasso is totally useless because the range of a lasso is so small that you really got to go stick to the hero to kind of pull him off. And if you're not able to get that kind of thing, of course they have the Shadow Shaman to secure that for them. It's going to be a little risky for Buriza Youth to kind of play the Bat Rider. Also against a tri lane that consists of a Rubik, a Night Stalker, and mostly going to be a Void or a Life Stealer. It's a very risky bet to play the Bat Rider. But let's see. You never know what's in the box.
You never
and
know.
Buriza Youth been performing exceedingly well with their lineups. The Bat Rider and the Viper is going to go up mid up against the Wind Ranger. Now this also means that the mid is going to be pretty fine. Both of them are going to be getting up quite a bit of damage. Also they'll be able to farm exceedingly well in the mid lane. It all comes down to how these two heroes kind of deal with the third and the fourth role kind of ganking around the map, and if they're able to handle that, they will be able to play pretty fine in the mid lane and the mid game phase of the game. But Buriza Youth with the Battle pickup, I also can think that maybe even a Phoenix would have been a better pick for them. The ganks that a Phoenix can get at even 15 minutes with the Sun Ray. They also have the Night Stalker. it could have been more helpful.
But they've banned out the
But
slot.
they've banned out the Slug as of now, and the Phantom Lancer gets a ban there from Reckoning Esports. Now it all comes down to the last pick of this game, and Buriza, you've got to pick up their carry, and it could be a lot of heroes, but I'm going to either name it to be, I would say the anti-mage, but they're not going to go with the anti-mage, so something like the Lifestealer. I think they would just have to go with something like that because they need the tank. Again,
You need the heavy hitter there.
Yeah, they need somebody to tank. This is a mistake even in yesterday's game we saw where the team had an Ember Spirit. I think it was Team Council. And they didn't really have a tank. And once the game kind of reaches 30 minutes, you kind of need somebody on the front line so everybody else at the back can do something. But in this case, now since the Bat Rider has been picked up, it's going to be the Viper who's going to be a main tanker. So he would have to go into a lot of just health-based items, which is a little risky.
But they go for a gyro.
And they go for a gyro, works for them. Lots of flying units coming in there from Buriza Youth, if you ask me.
It's a flight squadron coming in at
Flight squadron. True that. I mean, 3 flying heroes all on their bats and their wings.
And 4 ranged heroes.
4 ranged heroes. And as Reckoning Esports look into this, they just need to secure a
This
carry.
is going to be problematic.
I
on
wouldn't
a lot of
say that
ways.
much. Actually, for Reckoning Esports, this is actually a very good draft for them to deal
Yeah.
with because they have no tank. And when you have no tank, you basically are going to see a Night Stalker chunking down on the Shadow Shaman. You're going to see a Wind Ranger who's going to make sure that the Sand King doesn't get his ultimate off. You're going to see the Lifestealer getting picked up because it works so well with the Night Stalker and the Rubik. And this is my fear because they do have the Omni Knight to tank for them. But when we look at Buriza Youth's side, who is your front line? Are you going to send your Viper? Because if you send your Viper, you're basically saying bring down hell on me. And if that happens, Buriza Youth is in a wide
Poisony hell on you.
Yes. I hope that they have a plan in mind. And I hope that the Bat Rider does not fail them. Because if this works in their favor, they could win the game. But otherwise, Reckoning
Well, that's
Esports
for
will
the
take
game,
it.
and the players decide how well they play their heroes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's head off into the game and see what's in store for us then.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to ESL India Premiership. My name is Floki, joining me is CloudX, and we have Buriza Youth versus Reckoning Esports. So, CloudX, whose draft do you seem to like a bit more in this game?
You always ask the hardest questions right at the start, man.
Yeah, you know,
Okay, let's try and break this down. I think we've got a pause here, so we've got some time to talk about the draft. While our analysts, I assume, have done justice to the draft and have done it to death, we're going to try once again. I'm looking at Buriza Youth first. They've got good initiation with the Bat Rider. They've got a decent counter initiation tool with the Sand King. They've also got decent bits of AoE magic damage coming up from the Gyro. I like their draft, but given that the Omni Knight thrown into the mix, given the magic resistance aura coming out from the Rubik, I think Reckoning Esports might have what it takes to deal with that. You've also got the Wind Ranger, who's really good at kiting up against that Viper. So I'm curious to see whether or not Buriza Youth has enough lockdown to deal with her. At the same time though, if I were to point out policies in Reckoning Esports' draft, I want to say that they're lacking a straight up vehicle for the Lifestealer.
Yep.
Night Stalker and Wind Ranger, not the ideal vessels that you want to fit the Knights, that you're going to fit the Lifestealer into. But that said, if it is one of those dirty Radiant Solar Crest Lifestealers, you know, coming out with an early Radiant and an Ancient creep, there aren't too many tools for Buriza Youth to deal with a tanky Ancient early on, and with the Wind Ranger to beat up on towers, who knows, this game could be in for an early finish.
Yep. I think a lot is going to come down to the mid matchup, especially the Wind Ranger versus the Viper. I think the Viper somewhat comes out ahead in the matchup, but if Wind Ranger manages to survive and make it through the mid game and sort of cruise over there where she picks up some physical DPS items, maybe like the Maelstrom, possibly even the Crystallis, considering that it's a Viper and you don't want to be building magical damage against him, you could be in a good spot for Reckoning. But the one thing I'm worried about is that she's going to get shut down really hard early on. Do you think that's a possibility, given that there's a Shadow Shaman and a Sand King in Buriza Youth's lineup?
Let's, to answer that question, I think we need to figure out what the lanes are going to be here. So, assuming Buriza Youth is going to run a straight up tri lane with the Shadow Shaman, the Sand King, and the Gyrocopter, we're looking at an off lane Bat Rider going up against a Lifestealer, Night Stalker, and a Rubik. That's not a fun lane for the Bat Rider to be in. There's enough disables and slows and lockdowns and such to bring him down easily. which means somewhere around in the mid game they're probably gonna have to turn it into a dual lane, which should give the Wind Ranger 1 versus the Viper, and in that case I think the Wind Ranger will be alright. Again, this is all speculation, assuming that things go according to plan for Reckoning Esports. Yeah, I think their objective has to be to apply pressure on the top lane to force out a dual lane from Buriza Youth, thus giving Wind Ranger that 1 versus 1 matchup.
Yep. Well, world favorite, he didn't block the strong cam, but at least he found the sword scouting things out, so he's gonna have vision of the bounty rune. Maybe he won't actually. How long does this ward last? Okay, it lasts for 5 minutes and 49 seconds. Yeah, so it'll give him vision of the bounty rune, at least. The one which spawns at 5 minutes. Mid lane, Flame, he just casually breaks a smoke. And looks like his ward may get D-ward. Yep, indeed it will. An uphill battle strike, but is it going to be enough to bring down the Rubik? He is very close to his tower. He hasn't skilled up anything yet. He is going to skill the telekinesis, throws back the Sand King, but the Viper is going to come in and slyly take the kill.
It was worth an effort, but this has just been pinged out. They know. Well, they saw the Ruby coming in, a good move coming out from Buriza Youth, getting the early first blood. However, for that, they're going to have to sacrifice 3 bounty runes, and as the dust settles, it's actually Reckoning Esports walking away with the net worth advantage.
Oh yeah. Well, for starters, looks like Reckoning Esports 2 have the slight advantage with the bounty runes. Gonna be having extra mangoes in everybody's inventory. Gotta make the most of the mango sale.
The Feto on the bottom lane. So yeah, they're gonna run dual lane there. So I don't know. I mean, an Omni Knight and a Night Stalker versus Gyro and a Shadow Shaman. This is not going to be a fun lane for Buriza Youth. So forget about them running dual lanes. I'm going to backtrack and say Buriza Youth probably wants to run a straight up tri lane on the bottom lane, even sending the Sand King there.
Yeah, I think Zafita being in the bottom changes a lot of things. Shadow Shaman won't reliably be able to get his shackles off. Even if he does, there's just going to be too much sustain coming out from the Omni Knight to bring them down early on. But
meanwhile,
look at Flamey. I mean,
look at top.
Yeah.
You got a Lifestealer just dealing with a Bat Rider and a Sand King by himself. No skill points put in just yet. 4 sticky napalm, 5 sticky napalm stacks upon him. You know, I think a Buriza and a few auto attacks might just be worth it for the lulz at this point.
Nah, I'm not gonna dive towers for this early on. They don't want to give up. The little advantage they got for the Sand King with the first blood. I mean, level 2 though, we might certainly see some sort of play come out. Lifesteal is still holding on to a skill point though. I think with the Firefly and the Napalm charges, they might be able to do something to the Lifesteal. And you can see, those charges are racking up. Dot has to be careful.
He's up to 10 charges, but he's still taking a lot of damage here from each auto attack. Banshee, what the hell was that?
Yeah,
he traded 1 hit for 3 tower hits. That's not how it's done.
Where's the Sand King? Well, looks like he's pulled his own creeps.
Banshee's dead.
Wait, is he? Oh my god. Okay, he's just gonna get pulled back into the tower and ends up falling. Well, that's the death of Banshee in the top lane.
That was questionable, honestly, from Banshee. I think should have seen that kill coming up for a while now.
Yeah, surprised to see no one actually spamming that the chat wheel sound. That was questionable at the best.
The Feto on the bottom lane being a nuisance here. Honestly, look at the Omni Knight. He's at 8 and 4 up against the Gyro, who's sitting at just 3 and 1. He's a youth and not having a good time on this off lane. Heck, they're not having a good time anywhere at this point.
Yeah, but top lane looks like they will find some sort of revenge. The Rubik is dropping fairly low, and Banshee picks up that kill. So the Bat Rider doing some work early on. He went for the point in Flame Break early on. I'm not sure how good that is. Dot still has the rage, could pop it if he wants to, but now he's just trading right clicks. He is gonna throw out the open wounds onto Banshee, but just backs up. Okay. It's gonna be the end of aggression from Dot, and Dot is already out of regen.
Oh, they know the rage is on cooldown.
Oh yeah, 3 seconds though, and it's gonna be back off cooldown. Maybe he'll be able to run away, and has the rage. Is he gonna pop it? He's taking a lot of time. He does pop it now, but they don't have the detection for the Sandstorm. And now Dot, oh! That bottle strike whiffed by Misery Signals. He might pay for it with his life, but nope. Sand King is a bit too speedy, and Rubik is actually gonna end up falling. Banshee
Flamey had like 5 stacks upon him. Banshee just runs him down and right clicks him. With the Windlace and the Boots of Speed, Banshee is moving.
Yeah, while all that is happening, bottom lane Night Stalker being kept alive by the Omni Knight for a while longer here.
Uh-oh. I think Gyro could be dead here if he's not careful. Okay, he's alright.
Nah, he's gonna be okay. There is a Shadow Shaman. He doesn't have mana for Shackles though. Well, I think it was important that they forced out this Night Stalker to at least take a base trip. At the very least, they were getting too much out of this bottom lane.
Yeah, you bet. Well, things sort of stabilizing for Buriza Youth. They did end up getting a couple of kills on the top lane, and they do zone out the Night Stalker bottom. Heck, Dot's even going to be sent back to base as well. All of a sudden, things are back in Buriza Youth's favor. The middle lane isn't going too badly either for the Viper. He's sitting at 12 and 4. Midrange has got a cool 8 denies upon her though, which could prove to be problematic.
Yep, certainly. I think this Wind Ranger does a lot better than the Viper does come mid game. I think she's gonna have the upper hand in this matchup here.
Yeah, I mean, she's almost guaranteed the runes, right, with this power shot shenanigans.
Oh, yeah.
And look at this, there's a regen rune on the top lane as well. This is just perfect for her.
Yep, you can just spam out the power shot, go back at top, regen up, and continue those shenanigans like you mentioned. But it is the first night time. We'll see what Zafito does here. But now he's gonna stick around in the bottom lane. Where do you think this Night Stalker
honestly,
goes?
I don't think he needs to move. Staying bottom is fine because you're gonna have the 5-minute bounty runes coming online as well. Probably just secure both the bounties in the bottom and try and get at least one on the top side.
The courier might actually end up dropping as Zafito. Okay, wait, it's gonna get microed by Pawn and sent back to base. So well played by him there, making sure the courier doesn't die. And Zafito might be a bit too far forward. He is gonna get shackled up and takes a full rocket barrage to the face. The Ether Shock bringing him down low, but he should end up living. Wait, he's not going back into his tower. He actually takes a left and he's gonna end up paying for it with his life here.
That was way too greedy, man. He thought he'd make it in time for the 5-minute bounty rune. Now they're gonna end up giving up 3 bounty runes. Oh, actually all 4 bounty runes should go in favor of Buriza Youth. No, Zafeto knows what's up. He TPs in and immediately goes for the 5-minute one. Mistake coming out from Buriza Youth. I think Pawn should have just gone straight through the tower and...
Yeah. And Pawn, yeah, okay, he's gonna TP out, so he's a smart man. In the mid lane though, ASD, he's taking a lot of damage and might actually end up going down here. In fact, yeah, the level 3 poison attack doing its work. Fairy Fire gets popped, does survive on 30 HP, and now Misery Signals could be in trouble. Does Power Strike out there? Power Shot is on the money, and the Wind Ranger picks up that kill. Zafito pays for his life though, so Viper will find something in return. While all this is happening, top lane Banshee, he's gonna get cornered upon here by Dot. And Dot somehow has a level advantage against the Batrider. That's unusual.
8 palm charges. Look at this. He throws out a flame break. He's guaranteed to get him. Oh, what are you doing? Don't stay, Banshee. No.
Okay, Misery Signals with the Power Strike as well there, so. But now Dot is in trouble because Rage is over. He tosses out the flame break like you wanted him to earlier. But the stick charge is keeping him alive there.
Yeah, he's okay.
And
I was kind of hoping for flame break thrown out first, you know, just to force out the rage, and then you had the Power Strike coming on from the Sand King. They just got a little too trigger happy.
Yeah, and Zafito has made his way towards top lane where Banshee could be in some trouble. He's taking some damage for now. He's gonna get thrown back. Misery Signals has a Power Strike if need be, but the Rage is gonna get popped by the Lifestealer, and Flamey picks up the kill onto the Batrider. Sand King may be next on the menu. He does have a Sandstorm, but is there detection available? Yes, there is. It's onto Flamey, but Misery Signals, he's gonna make it back to his tower, back to safety.
It's a hard kill. The telekinesis has too long of a cooldown right now, and level 1, so it's bad idea to try and go for the second one. But look at this, Zafito back on the bottom, back on the middle lane. Viper, his spidey senses did tingle.
I mean, this is a tanky Viper to bring down with Raindrops, Akil, and an extra Wraithman. He's not gonna go down without a fight. So
yeah, there's really no kill potential here.
yeah,
Focus Fire is not the tool you want to rely on this
oh, the
early on.
Courier once again. This time it does not have the shield. Is Zafito gonna go for it? Wait, he ignores the Courier. He actually moves forward. Looks like he wants to pick up the kill on Misery Signals instead. Misery Signals is just gonna Power Strike back, but that's not gonna save his life. Banshee pops the Firefly. He should be able to make it out alive, but look who's here. It's actually the Viper. He's made an early rotation, and Dot doesn't have the level 6. It looks like he was looking for the Infest, but without level 6, he can't really go inside a creep. Flamey might be the next one in trouble. He has napalm charges upon him, and Viper's chasing him with that poison attack, and hell, he's gonna pick up a double kill. Zafito has to be careful now, because if he sticks around for a bit too long, he might just end up going down. But looks like the last poison attack will not connect, and Viper is gonna pick himself up a double. While all this was happening in the bottom lane, the Omni Knight falls.
I like what Buriza Youth are doing here. They've recognized that their lineup is significantly stronger in the mid game, and you know, before the lane, just as the laning stage is about to come to an end, they'll start making the proactive rotations, using the Viper to score some kills, exploiting his tankiness on the front lines. And of course, while that was happening, while they got their attention towards the top side, they did a very Signify-esque move and scored a kill on the other lane on the bottom side, where Omni Knight met his death at the hands of the Shadow Shaman. Interesting stuff coming out from Buriza Youth. It looks like they've done their homework going into this game. Let's see if they can maintain this level of polish as the mid game is now upon us.
Oh yeah. This is the point where Wind Ranger starts becoming stronger and stronger. She has the focus fire. Looks like she did pop it. Not sure who she popped it on though.
I'm worried about this Wind Ranger pick now actually, because we talked about lockdown being the best way to deal with her. There's plenty available on the side of Buriza youth, honestly.
Exactly, like this is what I was worried about for the Wind Ranger, because the Shadow Shaman, he can just, like, if he has a good start, he's gonna have those early blink daggers, early aether lenses, whatever he decides to go, and with that extra range he can actually lock down Wind Ranger for quite a while. Sure, you have ways to cancel the Shackle, but like discounting the Wind Ranger, you only have 3 ways. That's the Silence, the Void, and the Rubik Lift. Apart from that, you're really hoping to steal something like a Burrow Strike or maybe a Shadow Shaman Shackle, turn it back on himself to make sure ASD lives.
Dot attempting a desperation open wounds here on the bottom lane. Shadow Shaman just getting that hex off in time. Disjointed as he makes his way back under the tower. No deaths just yet. The second night time still about 2.5 minutes away here. Veto with no darkness available. He's a little more than just a front line here to soak up some spells.
I'm gonna bring down the net worth, and I hope production does the same. I just want to point out that Awakening is actually sitting lower in farm than his Batrider. Top lane. Looks like the Batrider's lead is gonna be extended further. They are shackling up World Favorite, but World Favorite is an Omni Knight, turns around with the help of Flamey, finds the kill, and now Flamey is chasing forward with the help of the Omni Knight. Bon, he does not have a TP because he TP'd on top to get the kill, so he can't get out of this one.
Meanwhile, look at middle lane, they're going for the Viper.
Oh yeah, the Viper's gonna end up... Yeah, he's gonna survive for a while longer. Looks like top lane Shadow Shaman will fall. I'll take that first. And now Viper, like I said, does end up surviving. I am the Oracle.
He's got 2 points in that corrosive skin, plus the infused raindrops. That Void did literally no damage. And of course, he's not going to line up for the Shackle Shot when he knows that the Night Stalker is coming from behind. Let alone a Night Stalker in the daytime.
Yeah,
speaking of Night Stalker in the day, he's going to work on the Sand King, who...
He's gonna pick up Regen Room, has a Sandstorm, he has a Mango as well, but Zafito's chasing for this one in fact, and looks like he's just gonna pick up the kill. The power shot from ASD, right on time. And top lane, while all this is happening, there's an attempt onto Banshee's life again. Banshee has the lasso and he's gonna drag the Rubik back. Rubik only has a few napalm stacks, but with the help of Viper, he should certainly end up going down. Desperately trying to steal the Viper strike, but he wasn't successful in doing so. And now, looks like the Lifestealer could be in trouble, but he hops inside a creep. And there's no answer.
Yeah, he's gonna get back under his tower. Darkness expended as well, just with about a minute left of the natural night time. The Fato is not gonna be enough to deal with this. They're gonna need more backup coming in, and it's gonna be the Wind Ranger that makes her way towards the top side.
Yeah, you have the Rage TP out if you want, but Dot looks like he's gonna go for the Rage turnaround instead. He comes out, pops out, shows his head, with the help of Wind Ranger, finds a kill.
An attempted shackle there going wrong for ASD.
Yeah, and
line it up with the siege creep.
All this is happening, I mean, the bottom lane, the Omni Knight is just having a free time. He has a siege creep wave, it's 10 minutes in, and he's pushing it out.
Normally, I'd say this is much needed space for the Omni Knight, but honestly, he doesn't need it at all.
Looks like he's found himself a Shadow Shaman, but he's gonna have to back off here. Doesn't know where the rest of Buriza youth are, and...
Oh god damn, this Omni Knight is fat. I don't think Banshee should be keeping in like this. That's a level 9 Omni Knight. He's more than okay taking the fight to Banshee here.
I mean, you sound super paranoid over here for Banshee. He is making his way with the Firefly, and I think there's no good way to deal with the ability to fly for the Batrider if you're the Omni Knight. Just flies over a cliff and just
he's okay.
left looking in the horizon here. In the mid lane, they have made the move though. Team Buriza youth, they dropped the Serpent Wards, and they're looking to take this mid tier 1 tower. Really what the Shadow Shaman helps you. Like taking those early structures, taking away that early bit of map control from Reckoning Esports, extending your lead further. Banshee looks like he's found himself a Night Stalker, but where's the damage really? Looks like with the help of the Viper they could bring him down, and Zafito is gonna fall once again. Now 3 deaths upon the Night Stalker around the second night time. The worst time to die for him in fact. I think dying in the night time as a Night Stalker is it's the worst possible thing imaginable for you, because you're spending time away in the base doing absolutely nothing in the night time where you're your strongest.
Yeah, well, the last couple of minutes was really back and forth. You had 3 tier 1 towers going down, 2 on the side of the Radiant, 1 on the side of the Dire, a death on the Night Stalker at the night time, and well, Wind Ranger's gonna find a freebie on the middle lane as well.
Yeah. The good news is that Dot has his armlet courtesy of those 2 kills, so he is gonna be able to have some effectiveness going into this mid game. The Kaido has to be careful, but hell, it might just be Banshee who runs into trouble here. Zafito's on the high ground, so he sees Banshee. He's gonna fly forward, drops the void, drops the silence as well, and Banshee's gonna end up falling. But he did buy out his blink, and that's important if you're the Batrider.
Yeah,
Finding that blink dagger.
He had the money, he bought it out immediately, then he goes down. That while it's definitely a bit of an economic blow, it's not the worst thing in the world there. Now, they've still got about 2 minutes of nighttime left. Maybe they're gonna try and make something happen here.
Yeah, Misery Signals just TPs out, and looks like the Shadow Shaman may not be so lucky though. Vaughn is gonna end up going down to ASD. Picks himself up that one, but that's all Reckoning Esports will find here.
That's the Maelstrom complete for the Wind Ranger now. That's gonna accelerate her farm rate even more. Not to mention the damage output coming from her.
Oh yeah.
I'm wondering if Viper... Okay, Viper's gone for the 4-star first. He's going for the Dragonlance, I assume, next. No natural pipe carriers on the side of Buriza. No natural Crimson Guard builders either. They're going to need more sources of defense and kiting here. Maybe a Solar Crest, maybe a Lotus Orb eventually as well.
Yep. Well, Warfare, he's going to pop his head, show himself here to the Viper. Just trying to deal with the creep wave, which is being cut off by Misery Signals.
Mid lane though.
Oh god, mid lane, yeah.
Out there in no man's land, gets run down by the Night Stalker and the Life Sealer.
Yeah, I think he's a bit too far out for especially in the night time. Yeah, top lane. I'm seeing what's happening here. Banshee's falling really low. Zafito is coming in, and looks like he might just find the kill. I mean, Batrider, that's an ambitious TP. You're not gonna make it out of there. Meanwhile, Misery Signals continuing his creep cutting shenanigans, but he's probably gonna pay for it with his life. Night Stalker wrapping around, Omni Knight wrapping around as well. But
he's got
guess you can't counter the Sandstorm. Okay, the dust. It's not on the courier. Okay, lovely. Misery Signals, he's just gonna bide his time here, while Omni Knight looks to bring him down. The
Tranquil Boots and 2 mangoes. He's just gonna keep regenning up every time he tries to get him.
Okay.
This is ridiculous.
I'm just gonna keep my eyes peeled here.
Omni Knight's gonna run out of mana first. He's so confused. He's wondering why 3 Purifications hasn't killed him off just yet.
I mean, the dust is on the courier. The dust is on the courier. It's coming for the Night Stalker, Zafito. He's waited long enough. This is the 4th Purification, and now Ruby comes in with the dust, finds the kill.
What the hell, man? That was
his lesson.
4 heroes rotating top to kill 1 Sand King in Invis. That's so much space created.
Yeah, Awakening is making most of it, in fact. Pawn, he has a Serpent Ward, so they can go and take this tier 1 tower. They did ping it out, but the Omni Knight, after biding his time top, he's gonna come towards the bottom lane. Does he spot out Banshee though? That's the question. Looks like the answer is gonna be no for now. The Omni Knight might be in some trouble. The 4-staff, I mean, not the 4-staff, but the lasso is there. Now, with the help of the Gyrocopter, they will most certainly bring him down. Pawn, with the Hex, just making sure that the Omni Knight can't get the repel off. But while all this is happening, yeah, Reckoning.
And get themselves a Rosh takedown as well.
Oh yeah. I mean, Medallion of Courage, double damage, Life Stealer with Armlet. It might be slightly difficult. They could use the silence on the Roshan. Yep, and that's what they will do. But this is just opening things up for Reckoning Esports here. They're pushing. Wait, oh, for Buriza Youth here. They're pushing out the bottom lane with the Serpent Wards, and you have to respond to this if you're Reckoning Esports. Where are the TPs? Dot doesn't have. Okay, Dot does have one. There's also one on ASD, but that's on cooldown. Looks like Reckoning Esports might just find a free tier 2 in the bottom lane.
I mean, the fate of this game is still in limbo right now. There's no clear victor coming out. One side gets Aegis, the other side takes down a couple of towers in the bottom lane. The map is completely blown open on the bottom side, especially if they can get this tier 2 tower in the next 5 to 8 minutes. I think Reckoning Esports are going to have to play entirely on the back foot up until they secure some significantly more farm for their Life Sealer. He's chosen to go for the Solar Crest after the Armlet. It's not the worst in the world, but I'm still feeling like he needs a bit more mobility. I would have been in favor of something like a Sanj and Yasha this game for him.
What do you think of the Desolator? Could you think that could have been a better pickup apart from
the
Solar
Desolator's
Crest?
not bad either. I mean, it's really their primary way to deal with that Viper, if at all they can get the jump on him. But really, yeah, that's the problem. They don't have a way for the Life Stealer to get up close.
Yep. Viper's just going to be kiting him around with the Viper Strike, and I think it does go with Spell Immunity, and it can't be dispelled either, so that's something that Dot is going to have to deal with throughout the game until he builds a Linken's. But it looks like Linken's is not on the menu for him. In fact, it is the Radiance, which he has queued up for now. What do you think of this?
That's a mixed bag of items, honestly, because you want to probably rush the Radiance first and then go for Solar Crest immediately after. Ideally, I think you want to skip the Armlet if you're going for the Radiance build. Just rush that Radiance early on and jump into an Ancient Creep when no one can touch you. But
I mean, Buriza Youth are just picking up pre-structures all over the map at this point.
I'm not a fan of this Radiance, honestly. I mean, the more I think about it, I'm not a fan of this late Radiance coming out in the live scene.
Yeah, it doesn't help him close the distance against Viper. It doesn't help him deal a lot of damage either. I mean, you're just gonna get... So here's what I think is gonna happen to the Lifestealer. Either he survives and brings everyone down, or he dies in the first few minutes. If you're itemizing to correct one of those two things, I mean, that's probably that's probably how you want to be itemizing to. Either extend your survivability, or to make sure you don't
at
get
this
bursted
point,
down.
your primary concern's got to be the Viper.
Yeah, but the Gyrocopter might be the concern for Buriza Youth because he's not had any farm this game and he's gonna end up falling once again. Dot picks up that one, and the Gyrocopter actually just below the Batrider net worth. That's a Batrider who's died 6 times in this game, mind you.
Jesus, yeah, Gyro's had a horrible game so far, but it's not over just yet. Like we mentioned earlier, Viper's kind of compensating for the lack of farm on the Gyro, so maybe they can make something happen with the absurd tankiness upon him. But the net worth chart is reading a different story.
Zafito is just gonna pop his darkness and start running towards the Viper, but the Viper knows what's up. He's just gonna make his way back. Does get this aggressive ward down though, so it's gonna give them a lot of vision here. They do see Banshee.
Gonna get a tier 2 tower. Now, I mean, yeah, at this point, they're just exploiting the net worth lead that they've got on the side of Reckoning Esports to find structure after structure. Banshee, in trouble now.
He's in trouble here. Zafito, he's moved in onto Banshee. The silence is gonna wear off pretty soon. We'll see if the response is there from Buriza Youth. Banshee still surviving for the meanwhile. Can't get his blink off for now. And while all this is happening, the epicenter, it's gonna get whiffed by misery signals.
Interesting. We also have Pawn trying to split push top.
Yeah,
chops
I'm
down
catching
those
this.
serpent wards.
Pawn is most certainly a dead man. I mean, he has a TP, but Zafito's holding on to the void. He knows what's up. He's gonna get turned into a chicken. And the void gets thrown out by Zafito, picks up the kill. Shadow Shaman ends up going down. Although Buriza Youth have moved in. Yeah, Misery Signals could find the blink initiation here. Looks like it is gonna be on the Omni Knight. The Omni Knight not getting a chance to pop any of his spells. Does end up going down. The Flame Break pushes Zafito on the low ground, and that's the end of the aggression from Banshee. But wait, Zafito, he's actually looking to go back in. I'm not sure what the plan is
here. Look at this though, I mean, Reckoning Esports have just used this time and space to take down a tier 2 on the bottom lane, and now they're doing significant damage on the tier 2 with mid.
Oh yeah, I think they're going to be happy with this. They don't really have to stick around and take the tower because
Zafito, man, balls in, all in, balls out. He's just going straight at Awakening, traps him in a corner there. And
oh god, the Rubik is here as well. He's only going to steal the flag cannon though, so there's not a lot of damage coming up. The Night Stalker is going to have his void back off cooldown, but he may not get it off because he's going to end up falling courtesy of Misery Signals. And now the Gyrocopter still surviving, trying to TP out. Is Lifestealer going to find him? Yes! The last right click by the Lifestealer picks up the kill.
Not the most efficient way to kill a Gyrocopter, I must say. Trading off your Night Stalker and your Rubik, but nonetheless, they do give the kill over to Dot, who's now made progress towards his relic.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think he's had enough time to reevaluate his decision. I'm not a fan of this Radiance at all. 21.
Well, I mean, I don't know, man. Maybe he's thinking about something that we're not. Maybe towards the late game. Viper, he's probably going to get himself a couple of items, not going to consider the MKB. That's when he starts regretting it, realizes Lifestealer has evasion as well. I'm not sure, I'm just going to drop excuses for this Radiance build in all honesty.
I mean, sure, the evasion's going to help versus the Viper and the Gyro to a certain extent. I guess, yeah, because the Gyro has fallen so far behind, it kind of makes sense, but there's still better things he could be going for.
Yeah, probably. I think the Deso wouldn't be too bad here.
They've got the Ags up on the Wind Ranger. Maybe she goes for the Deso next. And
I think I would like to see a Crystallis out of Bloodthorn. And the Viper, looks like he might be in some trouble here. He is pretty damn tanky though, so hard to bring down. Awakening on the back lines. He's dropping very low, but a 2-man Power Strike. But Misery Signals turning things around. The Night Stalker is going to end up dropping. The Shadow Shot. Wait, the Omni Knight. He's going to pop his ultimate, survival while longer. Pawn on the other hand, he's eyeing a Flamey, but this is Buriza Youth's time to shine, and Reckoning Esports' time to run. They're going to pick up Flamey, and now looks like the Omni Knight is going to be in trouble. Gets shackled up, the Ethershock upon him as well, the homing missile, but Dot, he's just going to come in raging, just picks up the kill on the Gyrocopter. Banshee trying to find the lasso desperately, will find it. And now the Viper should finish what Banshee started. With the help of the Shackles, they will bring him down.
All 5 dead on the side of Reckoning Esports. Sure, they get the consolation prize in the form of that gyrocopter. Even though it is a 1-position gyrocopter, at this point he's not worth the most amount of money on the side of Team Buriza.
Yeah, maybe for the gyrocopter you start buying wards at this point, transition into a support.
No, come on, that's not happening, man. I still think he's got a fair bit more value to add once he gets his BKB online.
Maybe.
But yeah, that's going to be a tier 2 tower taken down. The respawn time is not too long on Reckoning Esports, but long enough to at least secure Buriza Youth one more objective. Roshan, not going to be online for at least another minute, so that's off the cards for Buriza Youth.
Oh, definitely. But Buriza Youth, they've actually looked quite strong towards the end of this Premiership, I must say. A Viper, he's going to have his TP cancelled. Zafito does find him, and now with the help of Wind Ranger, should most certainly end up going down, and indeed he does.
That's no good.
Yeah, the Viper, that's a wicked 6 streak going the way
and they
of
didn't
the
get the tier 2 tower. Just really highlighting the fact that they've got little to no physical deeps coming out at this point.
They also find region room for Night Stalker, so that's really good. The Wind Ranger, I mean, you did mention about the Axe. Do you think the Deso is better this game or Daedalus? In all honesty, I like the Daedalus or the Bloodthorn. Crits for days. But I'm going to hold on to that thought because Banshee's going to get gone upon. With the 4-star, he ends up surviving a bit too... he ends up surviving for a bit longer. The Shackles does come out onto ASD. ASD with the Repel is doing some work here. Misery Signals is defensively burrow striking, trying to get back. The Viper will end up falling and Flamey as well. He's down for the count. The Wind Ranger, well, she's going to turn into chicken for a while and Misery Signals might be next. Hell, ASD picks himself up a double kill to triple kill with the power shot, in fact. I mean, ASD just turning things around on this Wind Ranger.
Good stuff coming out from Reckoning Esports. Just standing their ground, keeping the Wind Ranger alive. You could see World Favorite just taking up positions on the side, ensuring that he wasn't disabled, ensuring that he gets off the purifications and the repels when necessary. It's the absurd amount of mobility coming out on Reckoning Esports. They're just dancing around Buriza Youth in these fights, and because of that, they've now got an opening to go up into the high ground. I'd be surprised if they actually got a lane of barracks here, considering that everyone's going to respawn in just about 10 seconds, and yeah, the fortification was online.
Yeah, they probably should back off at this point. The Wind Range is still hitting away at the tower though.
Arrows out of our asses at this point.
Okay. Well, the stream is no longer PG-13 at least.
I mean, I just never mind, man.
Yeah, it's alright, it's alright. Well, the relic is gonna get picked up.
It's a synonym for donkey.
Oh, lovely. There we go. My wouldn't mind doing its things once again. Dot
is, I think he's taken up. He's cosplaying as Deadisbug at this point. He's just got himself the arcane boots 25 minutes in. He's doing a good job, in fact. The last fight, I'm not sure if he preemptively casted the telekinesis on Misery Signals, but there was a lift before the Sand King could get his Burrow Strike off, which is why he had to Burrow Strike defensively after. Perhaps a Burrow Strike to disengage would have really turned the tide of that battle then.
Maybe. Perhaps. I didn't spot it out really, but that's what you're here for. Looks like we might be seeing a bit of a skirmish here.
Oh, they've seen this.
Yeah.
They've scanned them.
They have scanned them indeed, and the Batrider looks like he might find himself the Omni Knight regardless, but no! The use is there in time, and Banshee might be in some trouble. Focus to the low ground. The Burrow Strike is there, but it's only on the Night Stalker, and looks like he's gonna end up paying for it with his life. Misery Signals down for the count, 48 seconds. Banshee trying to TP out, not gonna be successful. The stolen Burrow Strike from Flamey, cancelling the TP. The Omni Knight left to finish him off while Dot chases for more. The Viper, that's what they're really looking for. That's the big prize. That's the big red target that Reckoning Esports are eyeing right now. The Shrine does get popped, but with all the physical damage, he's most certainly going to end up falling here. Reckoning Esports find themselves another.
Hunters become the hunted. Buriza went out looking for a pick-off. A fantastic scan, honestly, coming out from Reckoning Esports. Allowed them to be in position on the high ground to disengage and turn the fight around. Omni Knight, yes, he got a little lucky as well with the Batrider jumping a little astray there with the Blink Dagger. But really, the moment he missed that lasso was the moment that they lost the fight.
Yeah, Bonnie is gonna get away safely. Well, looks like it is a bit of a stalemate for now. They are gonna head into Roshan though, so that'll change things.
With the focus fire back online, there should be an easy takedown on Roshan. A quick one at that. No real retaliation coming out from Buriza Youth. I mean, there's an observer, a dire observer board as well, watching over the pit. So even if they did come in,
yeah, I think Sand King does suspect this. He sees a life stealer with Radiance, realizes that it's an illusion, and Roshan is gonna go the way of Reckoning. They find the H's for Dot, they find the cheese for ASD, And nothing really stopping them at this point from
Oh,
going high
sick
ground.
shackle shot.
Oh, that shackle shot perfectly on the Banshee. Void securing the kill. I mean, that's Safito's Void there. Oh boy. And now Buriza Youth actually on the back foot. They are going to have to force out a buyback at this point if they want to hold on to their structures here. We'd see if they do so, and indeed they will. Batrider pops the buyback and is looking to go ahead and find himself perhaps the Wind Ranger, because that's the only one you can really kill. The Aegis Lifestealer, not the best idea. Well, he's going to get repelled up for now. Has Rage coming back off cooldown as well. Does end up popping it. The Batrider jumps in. He's managed to find himself the Wind Ranger, but where's the additional lockdown? It's not going to be there. The cheese ends up getting popped. The Guardian Angel is here as well, and now she's turning things around. Looks like she's going to have to back up though. The Aegis, meanwhile, does end up being lost on the Lifestealer. So at the end of the day, Batrider ends up dropping, and Buriza Youth find nothing. ASZ still healing back up. The epicenter though, they might turn things around. It's only on to one. It's the Omni Knight, and looks like Sand King is going to end up falling here. Misery Signals down for the count. 48 seconds, does have buyback. But Reckoning Esports, they're not looking very healthy, and looks like they probably want to back off at this point.
I think they just want to wait for the Serpent Watch to time out and then go back. And Zafeto.
Oh no, wait, what? They invest on the low ground actually, making sure that Lifestealer can't follow up. But well, he's speedy enough. Just catches up to the Gyrocopter. The 4-man Burrow Strike, what? Misery Signals trying his best to hold on to this game, but he's going to get Telekinesis back, dropped onto the ground, still trying to stay alive for a while longer. Does Burrow Strike Night Stalker, stays alive, gets out, and now the Night Stalker probably going to pay for it with his life, and indeed he does. But at what cost? Awakening, he bought back for this. Not sure if that's worth it.
I mean, they defended the high ground. Rax still stand in the middle lane. The melee barracks, they took some damage, but they're going to regen back up in no time. Reckoning, 40 seconds later, they could come back and try and fight, but it's going to be daytime. Might want to wait till the natural night again, but...
Well, they do have the darkness, to be honest, so
yeah,
they can pop in.
They do have the darkness, so yeah, you're right. I mean, that's fair. You could go back in. They don't have the Aegis anymore, though.
Yeah, that's definitely a problem. But the Regen Rune has spawned in the bottom lane towards the bottom side. You'd see if Dot picks up that one. Well, Play Me, he was first cosplaying as Erisbug, now he's cosplaying as Misery Signals with that Sandstorm. Not the best spell to have if you're Rubik there, you probably want something like Burst
Oh man,
Strike,
that's a
while
dieback
all
on
this
the
is
gyro.
happening... Oh no, the Gyrocopter actually ended up falling here. This is a big problem for Buriza Youth because 68 seconds on the clock without a Gyrocopter, that's a lot of damage gone. I mean, sure, the Gyrocopter is having trouble surviving in these team fights, but if he does output a lot of damage.
We might just see the Sand King going down as well.
Oh yeah, the Sand King might end up falling as well. The Shackle comes out just as the pause does.
This guy... Second shackle shot duration talent, so... Wait.
Yeah, he did go for the shackle shot duration. It is an extra 1 second on the shackle shot.
I think I just disconnected. My internet just did a potato on me.
Well, I think you're fine. I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm just reconnecting back into the game.
Alright. Well, looks like the Sand King is certainly gonna end up falling. AST, he's already popped the focus fire. No way Sand King gets out of this one.
Batrider is too far out as well. I don't think there's any way he saves him.
What do you think the Sand King goes for the level 20 talent? Do you think the armor is a bit more...
I don't even know if he's gonna get to 20 at this point. I mean, honestly,
alright.
it's a dieback on the gyro. It's gonna be a dieback on the Sand King as well. They're gonna have a good 1 minute window to just barrel down and take that middle lane of barracks. This is... yeah, I'd be very worried if I was Buriza Youth at this point.
I mean, like you mentioned early on, you did say that it could go either way, and looks like this time around it has gone the way of Reckoning Esports. Despite that early start, despite the piss poor Lifestealer, he did manage to recover with the help of the Night Stalker, and is now sitting on top of the net worth charts.
Fat Lady may not be singing, but I can definitely hear her harmonizing and getting ready to start singing, man. Buriza Youth. This death on the Sand King is probably going to be the final nail in their coffin. There we go. The G calls come out. Batrider making a desperate dash towards the top. Never mind, he just baited.
Yeah, he just bails. Sand King is gonna end up falling here. ASD picks up that one.
There's that 1 minute window.
Oh yeah.
Push.
Night Stalker has a dark
man,
as well. Oh no, Pawn! Pawn might just end up going down here, but wait, the Hex, and now Pawn is actually just gonna TP out back to safety. Is the Void there? Nope! He makes it out in time. Banshee, is he gonna be just as lucky though? Looks like the answer may be no because, well, first half's on cooldown, Blink's on cooldown, but just jukes it down from the high ground, low ground and makes it to safety.
No Spirit Vessel charges on the Night Stalker there either to cancel any of those daggers. But here we go. Back to region is worn off.
Where's the Viper really?
At least
The
one in
Viper?
the barracks.
Yeah, the Viper's so close to his axe, just 20 gold away. He really wants to be able to find it. ASD's just working away on the top lane meanwhile. Nothing really to stop him. Probably really wish he had the Sand King at this point to get the epicenter. I mean, look at all these heroes clumped up from the side of Reckoning Esports. Well, the Viper has the axe now. And a Wind Ranger, that's actually quite a ballsy blink, and he's actually going to get shackled and hexed up. Looks like he might end up going down before the fight, and this might be the opening that Buriza Youth are looking for. 3-man Burrow Strike, 5 re-signals, followed up with the epicenter. Wolf Favorite ends up going down. I mean, everybody from the side of Reckoning Esports is falling. Night Stalker's going to be next. Looks like he's trying to fly and run away. He will make it to the high ground. The Burrow Strike whiffs, but Awakening, he's there to clean up. And Zafito's going to end up falling. Your triple kill for Awakening.
ASD just really getting ahead of himself there. He shouldn't have gone in. There was no reason for him to go in at all. Look at this, man. They're probably going to lose a tier 3 tower of their own on the bottom lane because of it. There's a massive creep wave that's pushed in.
Oh.
They went in recklessly on the bottom lane, and now they're even going to end up losing the Lifestealer by the looks of it.
Oh yeah, the Lifestealer's actually walked into some trouble. The Shadow Shaman straight up with the Hex. No mercy for him, man. Looks like he might just end up going down. There's a Burrow Strike as well for good measure if needed. But looks like it's going to be off the money. And Awakening might pay for this with his life. Turning things around somehow on the back of the whiff Burrow Strike. And now he has to make a dash.
I'm gonna write that off as bad internet. I'm hoping Misery Signals had like packet loss or delay there, because that was 3 versus 1, a shackled Lifestealer, and he missed the Burrow Strike on him before he got the rage off. That's unacceptable unless it was lag.
But like you mentioned, the tier 3 tower did end up falling for Reckoning Esports, so they're taking losses all over the map. The good thing though is that this Lifestealer actually survived. Not sure how, but he did survive. And he's actually looking quite scary at this point, especially with the Nullifier. This means that the guy who can't get the BKB off, if he gets it on the Bash Rider, he won't be able to 4-staff away. So lots of good stuff for this Lifestealer now. If he gets on top of any hero, I think they're going to have a difficult time running away. Speaking of running away, ASD is running towards spawn, but gonna back out. Looks like he's learned his lesson this time around.
They're gonna play it safe now, just taking shrines before they go back into the base again. Maybe even just wait for that next Aegis to come online. Unfortunately, when you reconnect to a game, your Roshan timers and your indicators just go completely haywire.
Oh well, mine haven't. It's gonna respawn in 1 minute and 40 seconds. It may respawn in 1 minute and 40 seconds.
Right, so I think the safe thing for Reckoning Esports to do is to wait for that next Aegis. Maybe go in after, but yeah, the more fun thing to do is to take that DD rune and just try and breeze through the bottom lane.
Oh yeah, by all means.
No vehicle for that Lifestealer. Unfortunately, there's really no way they can give him one. Just relying on Zafeto now.
I mean, Omnet can just pick up a Blink Dagger, go in, use Guardian Angel, and just like be up in the face. There's nothing they can really do about it, Team Buriza Youth, in all honesty. Like, he just repels himself, pops ultimate, and like, what do you do if you're Buriza Youth?
No, they've gone in.
I'm not sure about if the Viper's gonna end up surviving. He does Hurricane Pike a little bit far forward, and the 4-staff is actually gonna keep him alive for now, so he does end up surviving. The Shackle Shot does not connect. The stolen Burrow Strike from Flamey, not doing any work, but does get him out to safety. The Wind Ranger might be in some trouble, does get hexed up. The Repel upon her, making sure she survives. Even the Guardian Angel, they really don't want to lose this Wind Ranger, and the Wind Ranger just trying to run away. But now the lasso from Banshee trying to redeem himself. The Guardian Angel still upon him. ASD is just able to blink away. And looks like the fight, it has turned the way of Reckoning. The Banshee, he is going to end up falling on his Bat Rider. Misery Signals comes in with the epicenter, though they might be able to bring down ASD. But ASD turns around with the Shackle, with the Focus Fire, bringing down the Sand King. But the Omni Knight may not be so lucky. He does end up falling. The Gem on the deck, and now the Viper is probably going to find himself Zafito here. Zafito doesn't have Darkness, doesn't have Hunter in the Night, can't run away. Awakening, once again of all people, picks up a double kill.
Viper
Gem's
really
still on
putting
the ground.
in work for his teammates there. He got like 5 Viper Strikes off in that fight. Slowed down the Rubik, slowed down the Omni Knight, finished off the Night Stalker. Well, good stuff coming out from Buriza Youth. They do keep their high ground alive once again, and this time I don't think it cost them any buybacks.
I am looking at the fight recap. It does look like there were 4 Viper Strikes used in that fight. And Shadow Shaman just shackling the Siege Creep, doesn't want any sort of structural damage.
Wind Ranger and Life Stealer might be getting a bit too trigger happy here. Just walking about with an infested Life Stealer.
Oh no,
man.
the Banshee. Okay, he cancels his TP. He sees them.
Good job.
Yeah. That's an alert bat ride if I've ever seen one. For a bat, his vision seems good.
Those of you in chat complaining about the camera angles, we're really sorry about that, guys. There's unfortunately not much we can do from our end. It's a Dota TV bug with the way spectators view caster camera angle when you're inside the lobby. The production team is working on a fix on it, but for now, please bear with us. We'll try and zoom out as less as possible because I think that's what replicates the problem. But yeah, back to the game. Buriza Youth showing signs of life despite being at a 17,000 net worth deficit here. Up against Reckoning Esports. There are a lane of barracks down, but it's not insurmountable, I have to say. We're seeing the Gyrocopter make some progress as well. He's almost got his butterfly finished up. Viper has just been a complete eyesore in these fights, doing some serious work with the Dragon Scepter. And he's getting more tanky by the second with the plate mail finished as well.
Yeah, but so's the Life Stealer, in fact. He's picked himself up the heart. Not sure if the Gyrocopter is actually going to have enough damage to bring him down in these team fights. Unless, well, Life Stealer gets initiated upon. Maybe in that scenario they can really bring down Dot. But you're gonna have to commit a lot. You're gonna need the Shackles, the Hex, the Burrow Strike, every form of disable you have.
I think you save the best for last. You just kite the Life Stealer, finish off the Wind Ranger first, and then try and come back with the Life Stealer later when he's isolated.
But Life Stealer, well, he's a big beast now. Doesn't need the cheese, doesn't need the Aegis. Just has a heart of Taras, and that's gonna keep him up and healthy for these fights, but he does not have buyback, so if Buriza you do manage to bring him down, there is a window where they can look to find themselves structures.
Look at where he's cutting the wave, man. His base is almost broken and he's cutting a wave at the middle. He has to get back.
Yeah, he has to get back. He is going to get back, in fact. Well, they're trying their best to delay this push here, and Guardian Angel actually is going to end up popped. I'm not sure what that was for. Banshee did whiff on his Burrow Strike, and ASD once again with that blink, man. Don't blink in like that. It scares me when you do it.
That's mega creeps.
I mean,
they do have a shot at defending, but with that refresher shot, I think that secondary Guardian Angel is just a click away at this point.
I mean, there's still bottom rack standing here. Life Stealer, he's gonna get Viper Strike up for now, but has a repair, so is gonna be okay. Now popping the Rage as well, just trying to find a target, and that target is the Viper. Nullifier upon him, open wounds as well. He might have some trouble finishing him off though, and indeed he does. The Hurricane Pike keeps him alive. The Wind Ranger, she did lose her Aegis, but she's gonna come back with full HP and full mana, and looks like Life Stealer might actually end up falling here. He does have the range, he's trying to turn it around on the Misery Signals, will be successful. I heard the epicenter, but Misery Signals died before he could get it off. She's still dropped on the ground. Looks like Dot is going to pick it up, eat it up if need be. But he's just going to keep it in his inventory for now. While Viper just constantly spitting on his enemies with the Viper Strike there. And Wind Ranger looks like she might be the casualty of war here. The repel upon her, so she is alive for a while longer. Viper really looking for the kill. It looks like he may not find it. And now Dot running low on mana, doesn't have enough for the rage. This might be the window that Buriza Youth are looking for. Awakening. He's still here. He's not the most healthy, but he still has the deeps, and indeed he's going to bring down the Omni Knight. Zafito just pacing back and forth, not sure what he was trying to do there. The Viper Strike upon him, he is going to end up falling as well. So Buriza Youth, once again, holding on.
Reckoning lost Rax bottom, by the way.
What?
Yeah, that just happened.
I mean, yeah, it looks like it did happen indeed.
So, props to the Sand King. For every goofy Burrow Strike he's made this game, he's made three even more. Well, he's made three clutch ones. There was one where he stopped the second Guardian Angel from coming out with a well-timed Burrow Strike there. That's essentially what got the Life Stealer down low enough to at least force out a retreat from Reckoning Esports.
Yeah, your mic is slightly cracking up here. I'm not too sure what the problem is. Trying to keep speaking, I'll let you know if it's fixed.
I hope it's fixed now.
Yeah, I think it is. I'm not too sure either, but continue talking, we'll figure it out.
Right, so, I mean, yeah, that's all I had to say really. Props to Sand King for sort of pulling it back in that team fight. But now, they've got a lane of barracks in their favor. In fact, it's the barracks that they haven't lost, or rather the lane where they've still got their own barracks that's pushing out, so they don't need to worry too much about that. Buriza Youth finally finding the courage to move outside their base and maybe try and take some buildings of their own. Yeah. Unfortunately, they couldn't secure any buybacks though.
Yeah, the problem is that, wait, Banshee, he's just moving forward. He has a Shadow Blade, he sees a Life Stealer, and the Life Stealer Well, he's gonna pop his rage and start running away. But now he's gonna get lassoed back in. Misery Signals is there to follow up with the Butter Strike if need be. And indeed he will. This time not whiffing it. Challenge the epicenter, but the shackle shot from ASD. Cancelling the epicenter, but they'll still find the lifestealer regardless. And now ASD has popped his BKB. He's just gonna run away. Meanwhile, all this is happening. The Night Stalker is taking a fair amount of damage himself. Butter Strike followed by Misery Signals, catching World Favorite. Guardian Angel around. This time around it is not there, but looks like World Favorite might end up dropping. Repel is gonna keep him alive, and Flamey, with the stolen Butter Strike, is going to make it back to safety.
The attempt here should be to try and force out the buyback, but to do so very cautiously and very carefully, because deaths at this point on the side of Buriza Youth could be the end of the game.
Yep.
But they're going to take the safe route, going back to the fountain instead, just happy with the economic blows they've dished out. They've still got one lane of barracks in their favor, so they're not in a horrible situation just yet.
Oh yeah. I mean, Awakening, he's starting to do a lot better now. Has the Butterfly up, is also going to have the MKB up shortly.
Yeah,
so
sure.
damage is not going to be an issue. Also, hitting the Lifestealer won't be an issue. But this Invis rune on Flamey, it might be. He has the Butter Strike and he does eye up Misery Signals. I hope production is dropping down buyback status at this point, because that's really what's important. Taking a look at buybacks, looks like everybody from the side of Reckoning Esports has a buyback. Well, everyone except for Rubik and Omni Knight. And looking at Buriza Youth, the Gyrocopter, the Sand King, I mean everyone except the Viper from the side of Buriza Youth has buyback at this point, so something that they have to work with.
Just lurking here in the bottom lane, hoping to cut a creep wave if he gets the opportunity. Does not want that straight up death ball push coming through the bottom, because if it does, there's not too many ways to stop it. Lifestealer's got the money for the buyback, but he's also got the money for his MKB, making a smart choice to just hold on to it instead.
Well, looks like the Sand King is gonna have to be a little patient, because Chuck Norris is still around on the block, and he goes in, might not have the best time. World Favorite, he has picked up the Aeon Disc this time around, so he should be having a slightly better time. The Aeon Disc will pop, and it will help him get the Guardian Angel off, unlike in the last fight where he just got Butter Strike, as you mentioned. And
cheeky stuff from the Sand King. He managed to find the opportunity to cut the creep wave.
Oh yeah, cuts the creep wave, finds it perfectly, has a TP out as well, but looks like he wants to make a bit more of this. He's going forward, in fact. They're going to cut the next creep wave. You really hope you have TPs here on the side of Reckoning Esports, but looks like you don't. Flamey is TPing in. Are they going to find the Sand King?
Abort, Sand King, abort!
Yeah, he's actually going to make it there. Power shot! The shackle shot is going to be there. No! That tree! That damn tree! Keeping Sand King alive. Oh boy. I'm just going to point out the tree over here. So, this little tree right here, making sure that the Wind Ranger didn't have any vision for the shackle shot.
Back to business for Sand King. Now he's going to do exactly what he did on the top side of the map. He's delayed the push. He hasn't stalled it completely.
Oh yeah, he's delayed the push. The push is still going to come in, but it's going to be a while before it does. So it does give the Gyrocopter some room to finish up the MKB. Maybe save for buyback if that's what he wants to do.
I don't think you do. I think at this point you just buy it out.
Yeah, because, well, you're not going to be able to do much with the buyback.
You need to be hitting like a truck in the first opportunity you get. Just stay safe. Let your Batrider perhaps take the beating for you on the front lines. And come into an absolute.
Well, Awakening doing his best to push out this top lane. Looks like the top push is also going to be delayed. So this does give Buriza Youth a bit of a window to go out of the base. But just as I say that, the bot lane has pushed in. World Favorites, he just made his life's mission just to stick around in the bottom lane.
Sealer.
I think
he wants that MKB, and it also looks like they're going to wait for the next ages before going in again. Yep. Minimum of 30 seconds before Rosh respawns, but what are the odds that Rosh comes back in 30 seconds?
I'd say it's a solid 1 in 1,000.
Buriza Youth.
I'm sorry, not the best at math.
This is the true test for them, honestly, because if I'm not wrong, Reckoning Esports are currently sitting 3rd on the points table, and Buriza Youth are somewhere further down. If they do manage to take a game off of Reckoning Esports, everyone else is going to be looking at them and saying, "All right, these guys can't be taken lightly anymore. They're forced to be reckoned with."
Indeed, living true to the name. No wait, that would be Reckoning living true to the name, not Buriza Youth. But speaking of Buriza Youth, the Sand King this time around does pay for his sins.
It could be worth it though, because they're gonna get the Omni Knight in exchange.
Oh yeah, the Omni Knight is actually.
Aeon
wait, the Aeon Disc is gonna pop. He has a repel. The TP is coming back off cooldown, but the lasso, well, it did get expended, and World Favorite makes it back home to safety.
Yeah, but he can't join the fight here, so There's no push coming out here from Beto and the boys.
Well, AST find himself a Lincoln Sphere. So the only damage item he really has at this point is the Maelstrom. Maybe you want to amplify that if you're AST at this point. You know, maybe something like the Bloodthorn wouldn't be too bad.
Oh, they're actually going without the Omni Knight. And it's not like he has a Global Guardian Angel.
Oh, yep. Sand King does buy back for this, and looks like the Lifestealer might end up dropping. He does not have the rage. Well, he does now because the Shackle didn't come through in time. Serpent Mode's being dropped by Pond. They really want to hold on to this.
Okay.
The Epicenter. Oh my god, I didn't catch that. I thought Misery Signals would not go for it, and
this is as good as it's going to get for Reckoning Esports, really, because
yeah,
not only did they do that without the Omni Knight, they've managed to bait out both the Serpent Wards and the Epicenter, and they've got a range racks for it as well. All three lanes are pushing in. It's go time. They just got to wait and go back in when the Serpent Wards tab out.
I mean, I don't know, because I don't think they saw the Epicenter being failed there.
Yeah, that's also a point. But instead, they're going to find Roshan.
Yeah, I mean, make the safer play, go towards Roshan, get the refresher up, double Guardian Angel, you know, whatever you want, double repel, I guess.
Do you really give up the phase boost to keep an Aegis or something on Lifestealer at this point?
I mean, you do lack the mobility, but if your life's objective is to siege, why the hell not? I mean, you might as well pick up the Aegis, you know. But looks like this time around the Aegis will get picked up by AST once again.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, if ASD is just gonna continue blinking in like a madman, I can certainly see this working out.
He's got the Aegis now. Do they have a fortification? Yes, they do.
Yep, both sides have fortification. The Dire also have a scan to work with. Well, marching in. Looks like this might be the final push because Misery Signals did buy back Gyrocopter. He has a buyback of his own and he's queued up a Rapier. I hear a Shackle Shot which did not end up connecting in fact, and
yeah, but if they do hold, yeah, that Rapier is gonna do some serious work.
Zephyto, well, load is up upon him. He's gonna reflect the missile. And looks like this might be the death of the Gyrocopter. The Shackle Shot connects perfectly by ASD. They're gonna manage to bring down the Gyrocopter. The Gyrocopter does have buyback. It's gonna immediately buy back, but Misery Signals doesn't. He is falling low, but he does force up himself back. And now the Hex upon the Night Stalker. The Night Stalker, the last commitment for him as well. This is a lot of commitment for a position 4 hero. Epicenter being channeled. It's onto ASD, but ASD has an Aegis. He doesn't give a hoot about this. And now, world favorite with the Guardian Angel does pop the refresher orb. Has a secondary Guardian Angel ready to go if need be. And ASD is going to clean up Misery Signals, who does not have buyback. Guardian Angel once again being popped. And looks like Reckoning Esports this time around will certainly find this bottom set of racks. ASD, still working with the Aegis, is finally going to lose it.
There was a fortification available, they didn't bother using it then.
Okay, I'm not sure what happened there. Looks like ASD might end up going down here, but no. With the Wind Run, he's going to survive for a while longer. The Viper, he's out of mana, he has to go back to base. I mean, buybacks galore from Buriza Youth, but what can it really do? In fact, Flame Me, he just walks forward and gives Shadow Shaman a taste of his own medicine there. The Shackle Shot not really connecting, and now buybacks and buybacks over buybacks. The Batrider buying back, has the lasso up in a few seconds, but is he going to end up surviving? I think that is the question. Looks like he probably will. Dot, on the other hand, does infest a creep, gets out to safety, and Banshee, Split Pressure upon him, dropping really low. Meanwhile, on the backlines, the Viper ends up falling, the Radiant 6 down the Banshee. Pawn ends up falling as well. 4 buybacks committed. Everybody from Buriza Youth is dead. GG, well played is called. Pawn has had enough, and so has Buriza Youth.
And that's a heartbreaking defeat coming out from Buriza Youth. But really, huge props to them. They did put on a hell of a show here, even towards the end of the game. In fact, the early game was entirely going in their favor. Mid-game, Reckoning Esports really stepped it up, and unfortunately, the late game didn't work out for Buriza Youth either. But yeah, big congratulations to Reckoning Esports. They will maintain their spot towards the top side of the table, while Buriza Youth have to struggle once again at the ESL India Premiership.
Oh yeah. I'm curious to see what the panel's thoughts are about this, and I'm going to throw it over to them.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the studio segment of the ESL India Premiership 2018 Summer Season Masters League, and we saw Reckoning Esports save the day.
Yeah.
Like, I'm looking with you with questionable glasses, like, okay, please explain further.
All right, so Reckoning Esports, first of all, great gameplay coming in by them. They played really well. Props to the Omni Knight. I think he was one of the players in Reckoning Esports that kind of did most of the saving, and one of the reasons why Reckoning Esports could really hit high ground in the early stages of the game. Talking about Buriza Youth, they really played well. I mean, if we talk about 11 minutes into the game, we had the Viper who kind of went up in the top lane. He took a few kills there. They started building the momentum, which worked in their favor. The place they started losing out was that once the Roche fight went down for Reckoning Esports, where they picked up the Aegis, the cheese, they went high ground, and that's where, you know, a hero like Batrider is picked for two reasons. One reason is if there's a hero with a BKB on the opposite team, he can bring him. The other is to catch the hero that is going to devastate your fight. And in this game from Reckoning Esports, it was not the Wind Ranger but the Omni Knight, because at the end of the day, the Omni Knight was making sure that he would negate all the physical damage. He was making sure that his carry was always alive. He was making sure that everybody is always healed up. And so if the Batrider would have caught the Omni Knight, I think they would have had a much better game for Buriza Youth. I think that was their only mistake. Apart from that, props to Reckoning Esports. They pushed well. There was a point for Buriza Youth where even the creeps went at mega at the side of Reckoning Esports, and it was a little funny for me. I even said that maybe they have started using the customized creeps options in the new compendium that's come inside the new battle pass. Maybe that's where the creeps have become stronger, and they're just like going through Reckoning Esports in the bottom lane, and just I was hoping that even they may take down tier 4, because that was the only thing really working in the favor of Buriza Youth by the end of 35 minutes into the game. But apart from that, they played well. Again, when you miss out a tank in your team, it always costs you. And I see this time and again that the balance of a team is very important. And I think that was the only reason Reckoning really, Buriza really had the backfall of things. The Viper was tanking for you. The Viper was doing the damage for you. There was too much on the Viper. And there was nobody else who could really support that push except for the gyrocopter. That's why even in the top lane we saw that the gyro and the Viper both had to TP to really defend. Now if you take your carry to defend, when is he going to farm? Or when is he going to bring those big items for you? And that's the only thing that Buriza, you should just take back to the board and be like, you know what, we should pick up something else maybe to get more tanky. And props to the Sand King. He got some beautiful stunts off and almost saved the day for Buriza Youth.
Alright, well, that sums up the game for today, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back again tomorrow with more Clash Royale, CSGO and Dota 2. But for today, this is all we have. Remember, this is the ESL India Premiership 2018 Summer Season Masters League, brought to you by Omen by HP, HyperX and Intel, and presented by Nodwin Gaming and ESL India. Cheers.
They say gaming is easy. They say this is not a job. They say it's a waste of time. But we kept at it. Got better. We grinded, leveled up, conquered. We are gamers. We are the ESL India Premiership, powered by Omen by HP.
That was beast.
Game, record, and stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.